And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night state GOP convention recap rant with your co-host, Grandma Connie's in the house. Kelli Uphaus will join us shortly. Our favorite buddy, Mr. Coffee, monitoring chat. Yours truly, Larry Parsons. And our ever-present earwig, the real Tim Allen. This is My Brain. And now, the host, Jeremy Scott Gibbs. No cats were run over in the production of this show. Well, maybe just one. Did it not work?
Hello?
All right. Check.
Hello?
On mute. There we go. There we go.
Ella.
All right.
Don't start.
Please.
that.
Yeah, don't.
Hit us with the bullhorn. Now you're going to start that.
Yeah.
Are you that bored over there? I will give you a job.
Bullhorn?
I
What
will
bullhorn?
find you a job.
You're right there, out of control.
Out of control. Out
Yeah.
of control.
Yeah.
Dreeking every time. Larry literally.
Don't do that, man. Please. Don't do that.
Oh my God, I will hurt you.
I will.
I will hurt
She's
you.
not bullshitting either.
Oh my God, I will hurt you.
If you
Dude.
thought that my direction was off when I threw the first bottle of Di Serrano, you wait till you do that in my
No
face.
kidding.
Be afraid.
There will be a
very
directional-
afraid.
Mm-hmm.
I would never come up the stairs
And
while
just-
nobody's looking, turn on a megaphone, and say something.
No,
No.
that would never
no,
happen.
No, that would be.
that would
You'd be feeling
uh,
real bad if somebody dropped.
I mean, that would be kind of an asshole-ish thing to do.
Yeah, well, there's
Hey, welcome to the show,
open
everybody.
mics.
We're just we're hanging out here.
And there's some lying going on here.
Yeah,
Serious lying.
yeah, serious lying. Oh, look at that! I got a notification that This Is My Brain is broadcasting. Sweet.
Sweet.
All right, welcome everybody in chat over there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know, a shout out to a bunch of our listeners that listen the next day or the next few days.
Mhm.
A lot of people that I'm talking to, they're just like, I can't do the whole 3-hour late night thing. And I said, I get it. And they're like, okay. N8IWS. That's probably supposed to say something if we spelled it out. It says the audio is in and out. Not sure
Really?
why. Can we do it?
Let me listen on my thing.
The audio is in and out.
Can we check it on our end? Well, I know that several people
Interesting.
have power outages right now. There was a storm that moved
Yep.
through a couple hours ago.
Yep.
Originally, George, our good friend Gjergji, was going to be making an appearance tonight. He hasn't been on the show in a while, and he wanted to just come hang out. And he texted me, I don't know, a little after 7 and said he was picking up or taking care of a big tree in the driveway and getting the generator going. So
How many languages do you speak?
I want to say 4, at least.
That's for you.
Well, there are apparently
Take some.
190,000-ish people out of power as we speak.
Yeah.
Michigan?
Well,
Yes, in
in
Michigan.
this
Wow. That's
area.
that wind was bad.
Exactly. Bovey says, you'd ever heard of the replay gang? They listen to it the next day. You can stream it in your commute in your car. Yeah, exactly.
That is true. You can listen to it 45 minutes a day. We got enough show to last all week.
Papa Bob.
Oh, Papa Bob's got to slow it
That's
down
funny. It's funny.
at quarter or half or quarter speed.
He showed me how to do that.
it
That's
sounds like this.
that's what the saggies like to do, saying, you know, somebody's
And now,
drunk.
live
Yeah.
from the man cave.
Hey, just get
Yes, it is.
the normal speech patterns to match the slowed down speed of the fake astronaut stuff, and we'll be all set. So it just
It's
looks
funny shit.
yeah. We are here tonight. Let's do this. Kelli should be here in just a minute. I think she's. I thought I heard a vehicle pull up. So We'll have Kelli up here shortly. We'll have Kelli Uphaus up here shortly.
John Bovey, what a jerk.
But that's true. I don't see any. I mean, that's true.
Wow.
There's disclaiming to do.
That they speed up the podcast. Yeah. I generally listen.
He's
to
on a
them.
boomer thing.
And now, live from the man cave.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Like helium. You should do it on helium.
Just do it on helium.
We've done a lot of things. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's see. Dinner recap. Coffee.
That's, hard to, I mean, I've never had rack of lamb, whatever, and you cook that awesome. I could never buy that because I'm a poor man. That was awesome.
Thank you.
The way you,
Muscles.
it was a good dinner. I can't rate myself. I was very pleased.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those,
Please.
those clams were awesome.
He's never had
Mussels.
mussels. You've never.
Mussels.
The guy's never had
Is
mussels.
there a
I
difference
think.
I
between
never
mussels
had
and
them
clams?
either.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, mussels are just like shit
Well,
stuff
one's
that
a
hangs
barn-
off a
Yeah.
boat and they scrape it off and
One-
feed it. I
one-
just fed it to you.
Yeah, one's a barnacle and the other is a mollusk.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim.
So one attaches and the other one does not.
Yeah.
So what one would the Democrats be that attaches to something else
They'd be
and
the
leeches
Klingons.
off
They
of
would
it?
be a fungi.
Maybe the Klingons.
They're not fun. They tried to
What is
say.
wrong with
A
that
mushroom.
picture?
They would
Like-
be the. They
What,
would.
what?
Like a Shaw.
Oh, did I print out the
Shaw's
wrong ones for you guys?
You know what they call those little balls?
It took me a
Oh.
while to figure
After
it out.
Dingles?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dingo balls?
Klingons.
That's right. Klingon.
Klingons. Yes.
No.
Oh, there's no audio issue. He fixed it on their end, not knowing gender.
Who's NA1WS?
Of
Yep.
course.
It wasn't us. Hey, Jeremy, I fixed it on my end.
Nice.
The VPN was set too strong.
VPN.
Very good.
Very personal network.
No, it's no. You got you got the V wrong.
Yeah, these are confusing to me. He needs to give those back.
What?
What?
That's Larry's announcement.
Look at my announcement. I thought.
Yeah.
No,
you
that's the
did.
start. And then it goes.
No. Larry's
Oh.
intro. And now
You're right.
live from the man cave.
What the hell is going on?
Deep
Ryan?
in-
Jeremy?
Yes, for everyone who's paying attention, we're admitting
Oh my God.
Larry
You know what
can
I'm
read.
talking
Okay, we'll be
Larry can read.
back in half an hour.
No, we're still here. we can still.
I don't
keep
know,
going.
but I know I didn't have any music, and he's telling me Larry go,
Right.
and I'm like, there's no music playing.
Oh,
Right.
And
so
then-
that's weird. And then I turned it on after the music had
Yeah.
stopped. If I played the music again, you would have heard it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was waiting for the music, and he's
Nope.
saying Larry go or whatever. he
Sorry
said.
about that. I didn't
Everybody-
realize you
everybody
didn't have
just-
it.
And I had no
Yeah, I
music,
gave 'em
so
up to you.
Probably those
I don't
gummies
know.
that Grandma brought us before.
No.
Gummies.
Gummies.
Goomies.
Piss off, Tim.
Okay, now we've got better paper for you guys.
Yeah, because I
How much? He's got one.
The others are printing, bro.
think
Wait, what
Grandma
about
Connie
gummies?
has to have the right one.
Oh, I printed out the wrong paper.
No, somebody said something about gummies.
Oh,
The gummies.
What about them?
The gummies we had.
Oh, in the drawer?
No.
What are you talking about?
I took one last night to
Oh.
make sure I could go to sleep, and then
I guess
too much hair.
John Bovey noticed.
Turn your freaking microphone off before you start jacking with your.
There you go.
Chest
A little too much-
Chestis.
Yeah.
No.
All right, now you can turn it back on. Okay. All right, let's get this show started. So we had lamb chops,
Very good.
mussels,
Uh-huh.
Florentine stuffed shells,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Pound cake for dessert.
pound cake for dessert.
I can't rate it. It was good, but I brought it. So the lamb chop or the whatever, awesome. I've never had that. And I got them free from Gleaners, which I
Yeah.
use. And I'm not shy to say that Gleaners is there for you people to help you cut back on stuff. And I'm not a rich man. And Costco, probably because I had Kirtland Brent. I've never had them because they're too expensive. And they were great.
They're
Cooked them
phenomenal.
up great.
Thank you,
Awesome.
sir.
Yes.
Yep, you did a good
I give them a
job.
5.
Okay,
5 or 6
Wow.
or
5
7
for
or-
the
Five.
lamb chops for 5.
I'm going to start doing a rating to 10 because it's not fair. Those were a 10. Those
Oh,
are 10.
new rating
Mussels were about an
system.
8.
Okay.
I've had better mussels.
You're
Pound
changing
cake was
the
about
scale. Okay.
Well,
have
the
another
mussels, all
nine.
we did was pull them out of the package and
Right.
steam them like they said to steam
Yeah,
them.
but
so-
I've had better. The fresh ones.
Right.
Yeah. But no, the main thing was the chops. Those are very good, Jeremy.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
I didn't have to cook.
Kelly.
So it was delicious.
Walk across the
Right.
camera.
That's hot.
There it is.
Oh, she's got vodka
And Kelly has arrived.
with a bottle of vodka.
Thank you.
Vodka.
Wow.
See, now-
Ooh, look at that bottle of vodka. You
Vodka.
better be sharing.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Or
Yeah,
water,
yeah,
as
yeah.
they say.
Right.
I made
Uh,
water. So.
Bovie says
You made
4.9 is gay. 4.9 gay?
Yeah, that's why you're right, man. I'm going to a 10 scale now. So let's move on. Don't
Okay.
hold
All
it
right,
against
all
me.
right.
4.9 is gay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He says 4.9, comma, gay.
Yeah. The rating
It doesn't-
4.9 is
doesn't-
gay, is
it
what he's
doesn't-
saying.
I don't
See,
I don't understand.
I do. I'm
I
on this
have
wavelength. I had two
Cognitive dissonance. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, we can do a show.
so good dinner. Good dinner. Everybody's
very
here.
good, good.
Good
Good dinner. All right, let's do this now. We have 3 people that hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that, all 3 of you, even though there's 35
There's
and
five.
yeah, whatever. All right, Grandma.
Sir, mic on.
Yeah. Is it on?
Do we have her unmuted?
Is it on?
She's on number
Testing.
5.
Testing.
Okay.
Unmuted.
Testing. Can you hear me?
I can't.
I'm not hearing.
Can you hear me now?
It's red. It's not muted. It was
Oh,
here.
oh, it was
now
on the
can
pack.
you hear me?
There we
Can
go.
you hear me now?
Can you hear me
There we
now?
are.
Very good.
All right, can't do that.
No.
This is my brain. Notice this podcast is mostly raw, unfiltered, and completely politically incorrect.
Completely.
Completely. We say Merry Christmas and a Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. Thank you. Thank you. We only recognize 2 genders.
Dangle and no dangle.
As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. Kelly brought her booze.
Yeah.
We cuss, but we do not swear or curse. If you don't understand that, please look it up.
Yeah, and don't fucking swear or curse on the show.
Larry, we
See?
love Jesus. We hate religion and religious hypocrites.
Someone's
If
microphone.
any of this offends you,
You should have left by now.
please don't stick around.
Your
for any
friends
more.
lied to you about the show. If you're still here and you're offended,
I would especially like to welcome Casey and Ella to the show.
What?
They watch all the shows.
of course they do.
Well,
How can they not?
they don't have anything
But
else
they don't
to
log
do,
in.
honey.
They don't,
They don't log in.
but they capture, and we've asked them repeatedly to get very good clips and sound bites for us and send them to us.
Man,
we
I'm
can
really
share.
rocking it with the fur.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
I know.
Look at them. They're going nuts.
they're going nuts. Well,
Jeez.
Next
You
time,
are-
wear a dickie.
you are too,
Dickie.
too sexy for that shirt. That's for
man.
sure.
We did. I'll tell you what. That chat room was rocking, and so was the floor of the convention. It was going pretty good, wasn't it, buddy?
I cook up.
It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
We had
Um,
the police count. The police showed up.
the police showed up. Yeah, we'll go over that here in the later bit. I got to do this. Sorry, I dropped into Obama moments. Reckon that you're gonna have to do. Mr. Coffee.
I'm not on.
Oh, God bless you, sir.
This is my favorite one.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. Am I on?
Okay.
Yep.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you.
He's trying to behave. Larry is messing with
He's
him.
out of control.
He's out of control. He is out of control.
He's lucky he's on
I'm
my
sorry.
left side because I can't.
I have
Don't
to
you
show
fucking
Don't.
Give me
put that
that.
thing away.
No.
Give me that.
Gay guys. No, upset.
Kelly, put this over there so he can't pick it up.
No.
He
He
already
walked up the
scared
stairs
shit out
while
of
none of us are looking and prepping for the show.
Oh my
My-
God.
and
microphones
yelling.
were open.
Why would you do that?
He's
'Cause he's a-
laughing, but its microphones were open and they went to headphones that were in ears.
Yeah.
I didn't know the microphones were open.
Yeah,
That's
It
why.
was
That's why I
terrible.
said sorry.
Yeah, because I beat you.
You're like a 5-year-old.
after the flogging.
He is a 5-year-old.
That's why.
He likes
You-
White
you know?
Castle and pranking people that
And he wanted
kill
you
him.
to sit here so he wouldn't get hit.
I definitely don't hit as much as you do.
No.
I should.
No.
But could you imagine what I could do with White Castle?
He should be in
and
the
that
middle.
megaphone?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'd all
God.
leave. You'd be by yourself.
Both sides.
Both
Yeah.
sides, yeah.
Easier or great minds? I think easier and great minds, or great minds and easier.
I'll go with whatever.
Kelly looks easier.
Let's do that.
I don't know if that's what you meant.
That was really rude.
Well, she's been smacking Larry around, you know.
Yeah, I'm bruised.
Grandma Connie's got it down. I slacked super bad.
I'm gonna have to go to the hospital after the show.
That's right.
Just got a while to catch up for there. I did not shirk. I shirked my duties. It is easier to fool the people than to convince them they have been fooled. Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
There we go. And let's do that one.
Oh, yeah. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt. Grandma Connie.
Yeah, Larry.
Ooh, a new one. Let me see.
Yeah.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. Wow.
Yeah,
The
interesting.
Second
isn't it?
Amendment. Yeah. in
When's that
December-
expire?
Oh, never.
Oh,
Never, ever.
okay.
Never flippin' ever.
Never flippin' ever. Well, you know that a long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial,
True.
that means like a fake appearance of being right,
Yeah, I think it's-
and raises at first a formidable outcry in defense of the custom that everybody's operating in.
Mm-hmm.
But the tumult soon subsides, the fervor, the anger, and time makes more converts than reason.
Yeah, tumult is a cool word.
I like that.
Cool
It is a
word.
cool word.
Yeah.
Cool word.
Yeah.
Cool word means, well, like you said, it's all about chatter and noise, and that's what tumult is.
Yeah.
That's it. Chatter and noise. And
It's not the tumult.
anger.
All together now?
And here we go.
And
Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness.
Her words down.
Oh,
Girl, baby girl.
oh, really, baby? Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again.
Girl, I don't
We
think
are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I'm not apologizing.
Well then,
Okay,
we're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
not
apologizing.
Chair recognizes Ms. Green.
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Chair
Reserving the right
recognize-
to
No,
object.
let's go. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
That's my favorite part. Come on.
Come on, guys.
Can I get something off my chest, please, Jeremy?
More than the hair that everybody's commenting on? Go ahead.
I am eye candy
Pitched
for
in your
guys out there tonight.
Apparently.
But can I I'm actually pissed off a little bit by all of you and chat. You didn't notice something except for the gay guys and my
Your
little
hairy
fur
chest.
sticking out.
Oh, you finally got your Air Force hat?
Yeah, because
Oh.
the two that are the same that I've been wearing are getting a little old, but Paris and that Tampon Tim, they went to a camo freaking hat. Did you
Oh.
notice that? Like
Yep.
they're appealing to the hunters and us regular guys out of there.
Yeah.
That's another reason, but this is my new one and nobody noticed. I'm out of here. Fuck you guys.
See ya.
See
You
ya.
know,
Well, here-
don't
see
go
ya.
away
Coffee.
mad. Just,
Just
go,
go
away.
away.
Just go away. Here, coffee. So roll to your left, coffee. Roll to your left, and put your hat in front of that camera.
Look, see that? See that camera?
Yeah, that one, so we can get a good look.
Good God, you can't direct him.
Oh my.
That one.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
looking at that one.
Yeah.
Go into it.
Oh,
Roll
guys.
yourself
roll.
forward.
He's like the teenage girl who
What
gets her
is
hair
this?
cut and comes in and goes,
Look at my hair, but
you
don't
didn't
look at my
notice
hair.
me.
Yep.
Okay.
You didn't notice my
Perfect.
haircut. I cut 4 inches off my hair.
There you go.
It looks
Right.
good.
So,
Looks nice and healthy.
table shot across at Kelly. She cut off 4 inches of her hair.
Yeah.
I did.
All right. Okay.
I
No,
got
no,
it.
but lean on the table like you
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
Would that be
Oh.
the 4 inches that would be below the table that I would never seen in the first place?
Yes.
Okay.
I was joking.
Larry, what have you changed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I brought a
Nah.
megaphone just in case.
Hey, you ain't getting it
Is that
back
new
till
shirt?
I
You're not
leave.
allowed
No.
to have that back.
But it's one I wear on a regular basis.
I
Yeah.
could use it
Mall
downtown,
lobby.
though.
There you
lobby.
go.
Downtown.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this.
Yeah.
We had
Half hour.
we had the GOP. We had some. Where do we want to start, Larry? We want to start with the results and go through those real quick.
Well, yeah, we can start there while I'm
the point of going to the state convention is to vote for people to then be in the general election in November. So it's the responsibility of those that are selected to go to the state delegation to then vote for Supreme Court. And we actually had a 4-year seat and a 8-year seat open. And to vote for 2 people for school board, the state school board, 2 people for MSU, U of M, and Wayne State. We also selected 1 elector from each precinct, all 13 precincts, 1 specific elector or a delegate to be an elector, so that when Trump gets elected.
Do they also elect an alternate slate of electors?
Aren't they the alternate slate?
Do that?
Yes, they would be the alternate slate. No,
If we
it would
win-
be like you going as a delegate to vote, and then me going as an alternate in the background.
Correct,
just
but I
in
don't
case
think
you didn't show up.
I think the electors are, you have 13 Democrat and 13 Republicans.
Yep, you're right.
And the Republican,
right. They are
whoever
the alternate
wins,
slate.
they're automatically the alternates.
That's right.
So we voted for those, and it came from our precinct 7. It was
Mashawn Maddock.
okay.
Yep. So we kind of trolled drunk Dana Nessel by electing Mashawn Maddock as our 7th district elector.
Because
How's this a troll?
how's this a
exactly?
troll? Explain it to everybody. Well,
Because she was one of the alternate electors in the last
Oh, that's
election,
right.
and
That's
we had
right.
to
She
raise
was in
all the
that
money.
delegate.
Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
because,
okay.
because of the lawfare against her from drunk
Yeah.
Dana.
so they're like, you didn't like her last time. How about take her again?
And please, ladies and gentlemen, always remember when talking about drunk Dana Nessel, do not use terms like.
The other things.
Yeah, we don't use those
And
terms.
those
Yeah,
things.
we don't
we
use
don't-
it. You
we don't-
can't. You
yeah.
can't say
Yeah,
diaper,
those things
carpet,
either.
Those-
shirt.
No, those-
No, stop it. Stop
Those
it.
can't be said.
It's a
And
pair
you
of pliers, not a pair of
wonder why?
dikes.
I don't wonder.
Uh,
No, I have a full view of why.
What?
Yeah, you better
They have to know
flinch.
what not to say.
No, you need to know what not to
Dude,
say.
you're in for it now, dude. I mean, come on.
Listen,
Yeah.
everybody enjoys me smacking you, Larry, because sometimes you just are off the wall. You got to keep some of this crap
Yeah.
in.
Yes.
Don't let it come out.
It's like
Yeah, come on,
talking to a
Larry.
wall.
I know. I've been hitting him for a couple years now. It still doesn't work.
So that's what we did there. It was it was my first time being there. Larry's an old hat at that. He walked around with his bullhorn, being obnoxious. He was what do they call it? Whipping. He was the whipping boy. No,
that's different.
That's different. That's different.
No,
My
was,
bad.
he was the one doing the whipping.
He's doing the whipping.
Yes.
Who are you whipping for?
I was whipping for Judge Boonstra and Judge O'Grady for the Supreme Court.
The Dumperkins.
Two qualified jurists, or excuse me, judges.
Judge. Yeah, the jury.
Yeah, sure.
Good jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. There was only, it was good.
Yeah.
Except we had some shenanigans.
Yes, we did have some shenanigans.
I read about it in the
Some
news.
shenanigans,
And
man.
I
Again.
ended up in the Detroit news.
I saw the video.
Did you send that to
Did
me,
you see
Larry,
the
or
video?
did you?
Yes,
Did you? Okay.
You're a movie star again?
No, he's a troublemaker.
Movie star.
He says things
He
without
says
thinking
things.
first.
Open mouth and
That's why I
insert
like him.
Larry.
No,
Boy.
everything I say is very well thought out and strategized.
So one of the things you guys
After the fact.
you guys may have heard Christina Caramo was booted. Christina Caramo, the former chair, was ejected from the convention.
Yep.
I found out a little bit more information about this today. So she came to the, let me see what this has to say because I just pulled this one up. Republican activists are united behind former President Donald Trump, but other strong divisions persist. Saturday State Convention in Flint made that clear. Oh yeah, there was hecklers for Pete Hoekstra, the current chair, and there was let's see right here, former state party chair Christina Caramo, who was ousted by the party dissidents in January after less than a year in office, showed up at the Dort Financial Center and was soon escorted out of the building by security and local police. Corruption, Caramo said as she exited. And there's Pete Hoekstra, and he was getting heckled almost the entire time he gave his first speech.
Good.
Well, the guy who was doing it was not. He was just being an asshole to be an asshole.
Really?
Yeah. You can say, you know, we can say we don't like the guy, but to just he was just
being a
crook,
asshole.
liar. We're like, okay, we get it. Now shut the fuck up.
No kidding.
I don't want.
Yeah, he was overly ridiculous.
Overly.
And some of Caramo's people were voting on the floor, and we didn't know if they were legal or not because of the commotion. She came in, and there was, shall we say, debate or confusion to whether her credentials were real or not.
So that's what I found out today.
Yeah, and I was standing in the front of by the stage as I was whipping for the two judges, and these two gentlemen came up and complained to the chair because we're voting for the rules, and some of the people that were with Caramo were obviously trying to obstruct.
They came up and started to protest. So we're there. We get there, and there's from 8 to 10 as you register. You get your county convention paper or your state convention paper, and because it's got a QR code for when you go to vote and stuff like that. And we get in there. They asked us like 2 different times to get seated, so everybody was roughly seated around 10 o'clock. Okay. And the chair, so they appoint a convention chair, and he was selected by whatever committee previous to start as the convention chair. Whatever. He's doing announcements. He's welcoming people. He's doing this, and this group of 7 to 10 people come flooding down the center aisle, and the sergeant at arms, rightly so, go, "All right, hold up. What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we have a point of order. We have a point of order." Okay, we haven't called the convention to order. How do you have a point of order when he's just making announcements and welcoming people?
Right.
We haven't gavelled the meeting to order yet.
Right.
And they were just being belligerent and being assholes. Mm-hmm. And so we literally had to, the whole group of us delegates, what, 2,000?
How many? Oh, 2,000. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to ask.
Had to vote on whether their motion was even appropriate before we even called
the meeting
to order. Yeah, it was stupid. And then it came down to them, and it was a Kalamazoo group where it came down. What came out was there was a group that was opposed to their district chairperson.
Who was grassroots, and
that is not at all how that went down. But okay.
What do you mean?
They weren't a group that was opposing their chairperson. They were a group that was told they couldn't enter the building.
Well, that's who that group was.
Correct.
He backed up 3 steps.
Yeah.
No, they were not even allowed to go in as delegates to vote in their own convention.
Correct. And then they went on to explain that they themselves filed late and then demanded to be let in.
Right.
They explained that they missed the deadline.
Not all of them, though.
Well, the guy that got up and spoke and was making a nuisance of himself said, "I filed by 4 o'clock, not at the noon date." That was clearly.
He himself did.
He said
he wasn't speaking for all the people that were kept out of the convention, because I know
he was their spokesman.
I know people that were kept out of the convention that had their credentials done on time.
Okay.
So it wasn't all of them.
Okay.
It might have been him, but it wasn't all of them. I think what happened was horrible. I watched the video of it. They started videotaping it because it was awful. They called the police on them
During the meeting.
prior to the meeting.
And I didn't have anybody else that The whole point to me is this was a district thing that they brought to the convention floor. They kept screaming about Robert's rules of order and didn't follow them themselves. They were making points of order
outside of the
order.
Yeah.
And then screaming about how they were experts on the order. Well, we know Robert's rules and you got to do this. And we're like, we haven't even gavelled at the order. There's a whole agenda printed out of when we're going to address rules, when we can possibly make amendments, when we can possibly do different things. And you're not following that. And you're being
dickheads.
Disruptive.
So no matter how legitimate their claim is.
Yeah. I'm just saying you can't lump all of Kalamazoo into one person because
I'm not. I'm pointing out those
that not all of them were.
The 10 people that flooded to the stage before it was even ready were belligerent and cussing out the sergeant at arms who were just doing their job. And kudos to the chair. And I went up and thanked him for this. That he did his best to diffuse the whole thing. And he said to the sergeant at arms, just let him through. We will get to that point when I gavel us in, and then you guys can please. And he did his best. But there were a number of people that said, look, we've wasted an hour and a half now voting on stuff that we have no control over. They couldn't, the state can't override what the district had done.
What the county did, yeah.
Yeah. And they were trying to force them to do it. And he's like, we can't do this. And so it was very disruptive and very, and then there was a couple other points. Like one lady got up and sincere as can be, but I think every delegate here we should all take an oath, reaffirm our oath to uphold the Constitution. We're like, oh, okay, it's either you're going to uphold it or you're not going to uphold it. But she came up twice
and said that.
Point of order. I think everybody here should have to swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold it. And we're like, okay.
Where's she out of?
I don't know. It was interesting. And then there was, what was there? There was one other one, wasn't there, Larry? One other objection?
Yeah.
There was some lady who could barely talk. Not from a speech impediment. It was like there was a lady standing next to her whispering to her and she's talking on the microphone. She's like, no, we need to suspend this rule. And the chair goes, okay, I'm trying to figure out. So let me say this back to you and see if this is what you're talking about. You want to suspend the entire rule? Yeah, we want to suspend the entire rule. And he's like, okay, we can't. You can amend a rule. Suspending a rule means you remove the entire rule from the rules, and that's not allowed. You can suspend, or you can do that beforehand, but you can only amend a rule now. Would you like to amend a rule? And she goes, oh, yeah, I think I want to amend the rule. And the lady whispers into her ear, and she goes, no, we want to suspend it. And he's like, then you're overruled. Chair overrules you. And she's like, and he goes, would you like to appeal that? She goes, yes. Okay, you're appealing the chair.
It sounds a lot like the winter one, the past winter.
Dude, it
sounds a lot like that.
Just ridiculous.
I think that one went late into the night because nobody could get anything. It was like herding cats.
Well, I am for everybody voicing their opinions and having grievances and doing stuff.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between doing that and just being an obnoxious loser.
And the fact is, you're presenting issues that this is not the forum for it. If you want to, and one of the things he said, the chair said, he said, like, have we submitted this beforehand? Have these things been submitted? This is one day state convention, and you're submitting things that are trying to present things that could have been submitted. In the case of the lady wanting people to take, could have been submitted months ago for the executive committee of the state convention for consideration and get a response. She waited till that moment and I'm just like, okay, I'm not fundamentally opposed to an oath, but the reality is an oath's only as good as the fruit of somebody who.
By the way, did you get a chance to meet Pete Hoekstra?
No, I did not.
You did not? No.
I met a number of people, but I mostly hung out with a bunch of our crew.
I got to tell Peter Meyer that his vote to impeach Donald Trump would cost him every election from now to the end of time.
Well, he dropped out, so
Who
you
is
know.
who is that, Larry? I'm sorry.
Peter Meyer.
Peter Meyer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
One of
I
Larry's
told him
favorites.
nicely. I mean, I didn't spit in his face or
I
anything.
sent him a very strongly worded email, and right after I sent him that, he dropped out of the race. I don't think it was because of my strongly worded email, but I was very happy to see.
Well, he had
the
no, he had zero chance of beating Alyssa Slonian. Zero. Because half the Republicans would have went home. They don't vote for traitors. It'd be like if George W. Bush or Mitt Romney ran for office today. They would be ghosted.
Speaking of which, so everybody, you guys can look up everything on there. Any other things we're thinking about, Larry?
Let's see. The Supreme Court nominees, did we talk about them who actually won?
We didn't mention who won. No, O'Grady and
O'Grady and Fink.
And Fink.
Yeah, Fink defeated
Boomstra.
Boomstra by, I think, 83 votes.
Yep.
83 votes, which I was backing Boomstra because of his judicial experience. Fink's a good guy. I'm not heartbroken.
I actually like the better outcome with Fink going to the Supreme Court and Boonstra staying because if he would have been the one going and he wins in November,
Whitmer would have got an appointment.
Whitmer would have appointed to the appellate court.
Right, but it wouldn't have made a difference because the judges that he's with on that bench on the appellate court, because I guess there's 3 separate appellate courts, those 3 judges always agree anyway.
Meaning?
The appointment wouldn't have mattered.
They would have overrode it?
Yeah.
Huh?
The other 3 would have overrode?
It would have never changed the outcome.
It wouldn't have changed the outcome. The majority is the majority. So that's why I opted to support him because I had concerns about that. And a lot of people had concerns about the age, but I was looking at the resume. Who's going to be easiest to elect and get elected in a general election? 2 experienced judges on the same ticket. Yeah, that's.
Yep. Either way, we those are the ones that are going to be on the ballot for November on the GOP side. I think overall, all of the picks were. Let's say it this way: I think that all of the picks, regardless of who we supported,
some people got ousted. Ron Weiser got ousted.
Yep, that's up here. He was running for University of Michigan Regent seat. But I think that all the picks in general will be solid conservatives. They fall in the category, and somebody even said it there, of being that 80-20. They're 80% with us, therefore they're not a 20% traitor.
I will make this comment as I was shocked to all the conservatives that had Ron Weiser shirts on.
Probably a discussion for another day, Larry, where you, yeah.
Use your bullhorn.
Yeah, not here. Do not. Anything going on in chat? We're trying to get through this to give everybody an update, and then I want to move on to some actual fun stuff.
Yeah.
I will say, I hope they change from, that's not to piss anybody off in the chat. I do hope next convention, they do what we do at the county convention, and they use the app with a extremely secure login and voting, because they did a paper ballot. They had to funnel us all through the back room. They had to hand count it, and 3.5 hours later,
wow,
for 2,000 ballots, 3.5 hours later.
Wow.
I'm like, 30 million people in France were able to vote, and an hour and a half after the election polls closed, they had them counted and tabulated and done.
Personally, I think the paper ballot's the way to go always, for any reason, all the time.
Then you better, then the other alternative I also said was to have a whole army of people counting.
And that's the problem, is there wasn't a whole army of people counting.
Correct. And to think that there is always could be some error, margins of error, stuff like that. I mean, they spent 20 minutes confirming the amount of ballots with the amount of votes to make sure that all the numbers lined up.
It's not just that, though. It's How do you know it's extremely secure and my name's not attached to it when I cast that
But the
vote?
names were not attached to it.
How do you know my name's not attached to that number I was assigned? And then when I go to cast my vote, because I have a login and credentials I have to use.
The login and credentials just gave us the right to vote.
No. I'm talking about county convention
Oh.
with what you said about the computer
Right.
system. How do I know my name's not attached to that vote so they can see how I voted in secret ballot every time?
Oh, that's
You don't.
because now the ballot that they give you, okay, what they do is you get in line and then there's somebody standing there with a tablet and you show them your ticket like that. You hold it
No,
upside
Larry,
down.
I'm talking about at our county convention. He just said we should be using the system we have at county convention. How do I know at county convention? I get a number and then I use that number in a code that they give me to log in. How do I know my vote is a secret vote through their algorithm and their system when I cast that vote? I don't. I have no idea. And they can have whatever they want embedded in that system to be able to track, monitor how I voted and who I voted for.
You're concerned about that at a GOP convention where
I'm
you're a
concerned
GOP?
about that on any level, to be really honest with you. I'm concerned because if it's a secret ballot, it's a secret ballot. Am I wrong? It's supposed to be secret. And if it's not secret, then it's no longer a secret ballot. And if you know how I'm going to vote, you can try to push to oust me so I don't vote like that again because you want control of this segment of the party.
I can see your point. I don't think there's enough malfeasance involved to right. What I'm looking at, right, just pure and simple, not to get into a whole debate. It took 3.5 fucking hours to count up
I get
2,000
that.
ballots.
They should have had more people counting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether we
how
use
long
electronic
how long
or not,
were we there?
'Cause
We
we've
were
done-
there 13 hours, right?
you were there 13, I was there 12.
12.
We did
And I
ballot
left after I-
before, and it didn't take
Yeah,
that
my
long.
How many
phone-
counters did they have? Do you know?
No idea.
Yeah. Where's Patrick tonight?
I was going to touch on that.
Yeah.
Patrick,
You okay?
yes, Patrick is okay. Patrick was escorted out of the convention
Yes.
within the first half an hour.
Oh, crap.
There was a misunderstanding.
It was
And
an
he was
accident.
escorted out as an accident. I'll explain it in just a second. But Patrick called me this afternoon and he said, in light of being escorted out, I don't think I will give a very positive review of the convention. So I will take the night off. So that's where Patrick is.
Man
We
of
love
honor.
Patrick, but yeah, he said I have a very negative. So what
Well,
happened?
he should
handed-
tell his story.
He can tell
Just
it
get
when
it
he
right
calms
to
down.
Yeah.
So if you notice, these are our delegate cards that they gave us. There are 2 punch holes in the top. They're supposed to have a lanyard. You hang it around your neck, and you show your QR code, and everybody can see who you are and stuff like that. Very good. Well, somehow somebody messed up, and whether it was the UPS or the people who ordered from UPS or ordered through UPS, about half of the lanyards actually got delivered.
Oh, no.
So by the time we're there at 9 o'clock, it's not going to work for you.
Comes a fucking asshole.
Nice. I guess it did work. But they didn't have any, so they ran out of lanyards. So by the time I'm there, there's no lanyards left. And everybody's walking around with lanyards and stuff like that. I'm like, I need a lanyard. So I go to the 7th and get my card. No lanyards. I yelled at Dan Wilhan to go find some. He was in the back for quite a while. Patrick was in the 8th. Patrick went over to his table, got his card. At a certain point, he came back out like we all did, looking for more lanyards. We go inside, you see where our space is, all that stuff. I came back out, I'm bugging Dan. He's like, UPS truck, never got delivered. And so that's it. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to carry this around. And Patrick came out, spotted a lanyard on the table. It was supposed to have been before me, because if I'd have seen him, he reaches over on the table. There's a pile, maybe 5 or 10 of them, not many. He grabs a lanyard, turns like this to walk away. It stops. He thinks it's snagged on some of the other lanyards, doesn't look back and just pulls it. The lady at the table had grabbed it and was jerking it back out of his hand, and he pulled it, and it cut her hand
Oh, no.
because she grabbed the
metal part?
the metal part.
Oh.
And she immediately, when he gave it a jerk, she,
Screams.
yeah, whatever. And he
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
around and goes, and immediately dropped it. And he's like, what the hell? Because she wasn't touching it. She didn't have a hold of it. And immediately the security was on him and said, and she's like, oh, you cut my hand. And he's like, dude, you grabbed the end of the lanyard that was laying free on your side, on your table. And
Are you kidding me?
and they booted him out for that.
She
Oh,
couldn't
my.
step up and go, it was an accident or anything?
Feelings were probably hurt. I don't know.
Oh my.
Anyway, so
She could have
Get
been
her.
embarrassed too.
true.
People
So-
are funny.
So Patrick's my phone is silent and everything like that, and he calls me 3 times. And I finally look at my phone. I'm like, "Why are you trying to call me? Where are you at?" He's like, "I'm outside." I'm like, "What?"
Did you guys carpool?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I had to take my keys out to him. He took my truck, went home, mowed his lawn, power washed his deck, power washed his patio, did a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
You gotta be fucking.
I ended up right after the vote. The second vote was over. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I've had enough today.
Yeah, and my phone went dead, and I'm going to give him a ride home.
So I grabbed, I spotted Joe Farkas.
Yes.
I was like, Joe, I need a ride. He's like, oh, okay, buddy. I'm
I
headed up.
love Joe.
And
So how long after you had left did I have Jeff Vega call you to locate you? How long had you been gone? Because I was looking all over the place for him. My phone had died.
I think we were still in the lobby when you called and we're walking out the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
a mess.
So then we get to, I got to Patrick's
It
house.
wasn't that
Actually,
bad. It
was a good
no.
overall thing.
Yeah,
The
it
delay
wasn't that
in the
bad.
counting the paper and the disruptors.
It's the price you pay if you prefer hand counted ballots.
Right.
That's the price you pay.
So next
And-
time they get 10
and
more
you know,
counters.
is it
Something.
that bad really hanging out with your friends? I didn't think so.
I love going to
Yeah,
convention.
I didn't think so. I mean, but I was busy. I was whipping.
It's energizing.
Whip it.
Yeah.
Whip it good.
I hung out and chatted with a lot of people. I wandered around.
I was
for a
out
while.
there whipping, and then next thing you know, this lady comes up, she tugs on my shirt, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm so and so. I'm with the Detroit News. I took your picture. Can I get your information?
Oh, permission. Are you pulling? Have we pulled that up yet?
Let's see. I will.
Yeah, I mean, conventions is. I mean, it's where you find the nicest of fiancés.
Yes.
Is that?
Larry
Is that? What
Yeah, I mean, especially those conventions of the '80s,
Mhm.
the Reagan days.
Oh.
Man, there were
Now
some
there's
hookups.
there's one.
I
Now
know
that
her.
yeah, that's one picture of me. Now these are not my photos. I stole them from Facebook. From one of my Facebook friends, so I do not take credit for that.
Yeah.
But
I sat with Trisha for the
Yes.
first hour and a half
yes,
or so.
she's wonderful.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
awesome.
She is an incredible young lady.
Yes, she is.
But if you go back, you'll see the Detroit News photo. There's some convention photos.
So we were sitting
of
off
the-
to the, when you're looking at the picture face on, we were sitting off to the left-hand side.
Yeah, and the guy that got carried off and arrested.
Oh, he was right up
sitting-
here on the
he
left
was
side,
sitting
up and
there
top.
on the left-hand
What did he
side.
do?
He was the guy that was being obnoxious
He
and
was
just
being obnoxious,
just yelling.
but when the cops tried to escort him out, he grabbed the cop. and
Oh,
He
no.
assaulted the cop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Time.
Hey, is that Paul Funk on the big screen?
Yes.
That
It was.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, that is a picture of Paul. I didn't realize that.
I like that guy.
Who was Paul stumping for at that moment? Paul was so cute. He got handed. He was going to do this. So when you have all the candidates that ran had the opportunity to have 2 people. So the way that it works, somebody has to nominate you and somebody has to second that nomination. It's perfunctory. It's going through the motions, but it is necessary because they're already on the ballots. They're already signed up.
Rules.
But you have to. So what they do is they have the first person come up and nominate you, and they get a 3-minute speech window. And then a second person comes up to second the nomination, and they get a 1-minute speech window. So Paul, 8 minutes before Paul is supposed to give up and give his 1-minute speech, or before it's the announcement of the first one, the nomination, the person who was going to do the stump speech backs out. And they hand Paul the 3-minute speech that they had written up. And he's like, I had 8 minutes to go through and scribble across this off. No, I'm not saying that here. No, this is it. And had to go through and make it his own speech. And he did a phenomenal job. So yeah, he had, I'm sitting with Paul and he's like, I had 8 minutes to fix that speech.
Paul's good that way.
You got up there and did that. All right. So what are we looking at? There's Kristi Noem,
Yes.
North Dakota governor.
She gave an awesome speech.
She did.
I tried to send it to you.
Yeah.
I had 13 and a half minutes of it, which isn't all of it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't let me send the file.
No.
So But she gave
did
an
a great
incredible
job.
speech. She is a wonderful speaker, and no teleprompter.
Oh no, none.
I don't see any.
No.
Yeah,
What are we looking at there? Just a view of it.
that's another view. That's from the stage.
What was that? Why is that? I don't even want to see that.
What's the-
I thought you had another
those
one in
are,
here.
those are quite the statistics, though.
We're gonna get to those statistics
Those were
here.
true.
We're gonna get to
I
those
know,
statistics here
but
shortly.
that's what I'm
That was one of the
saying.
memes.
Side by side.
That's one of
Yeah.
one of the memes I made. So
It's astounding.
yeah, but if you go the other way, you'll see the Detroit news.
I went the other way. I don't think you sent it to me on here, Larry.
Bro, it's there.
Toilets.
There's the toilets. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, there was another one over
So
there.
you
There it
just
is, right
randomly
there.
send things in between things?
He literally bombards me with all sorts of crazy
Yes.
shit.
Yep. And that's the picture that ended up.
Larry Parsons of Fenton carries a political sign while walking around the arena, the Michigan Republican Party convention on Saturday.
I told her to correct that too, because I said Fenton by accident, and I said you should change that to Heartland because I have a Fenton mailing address, but I'm from Heartland.
Well, yeah, Heartland
But
area.
apparently
Yeah.
she didn't change it.
So there's Larry in the Detroit News, the Detroit. What else was in there? Is there anything else in there?
I had some of that preacher's speech because he was phenomenal.
Oh, he was phenomenal.
right there.
I wanted to meet. That's one person
Yeah.
I did want to meet.
Yep, that's him right there.
Yeah.
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 I've heard him before.
Yep.
He was
He's a
phenomenal.
nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Larry's crazy. All right, so we good on that? There's your recap for state convention. We were there. We saw.
Yeah.
We came. We saw. Nobody died.
Yep.
To my knowledge, at least 4 people were ejected.
Really?
Christina Caramo,
Yes.
the main heckler guy that got taken
Right.
out by the police, his
Patrick.
buddy who was sitting next to him,
Oh,
who did not put up a stink and voluntarily left,
yeah.
and our
Okay.
co-host Patrick.
Yeah.
That's
That's funny.
The quote for tonight, our quote definition, logical fallacy or verse. The quote for tonight, I was very surprised who said it or who's personified it saying it because I didn't want to do any more studying on it. But the most prolific one that is credited with it is
Remember
Tip
that.
O'Neill.
Remember him?
All politics is local. There are some variations of it that go back into the early 1900s, but he's the one that's credited with it being his statement. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and in case anybody doesn't know who Tip O'Neill
just the
was,
Tip O'Neill. He
he
was
was
the
the
father of all those
Democrat
kids.
House Minority Leader.
I thought he was a speaker at one point.
Yeah, well,
Wasn't he? I
yeah,
thought he
he
was
might have
whip.
been at one
Yeah,
at
whip.
one point. Because what's his name took over. I'll remember that.
You'll
name.
forget
I
it.
thought it was speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was speaker too.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he might have been speaker, but that was in balancing the budget. There was a budget battle, and he ended up telling some lies. But the
Mhm.
Republicans ended up balancing the budget.
So we talked about it last week. We brought a subject up, and I want to continue the dialogue a little bit about this. If you were under a rock and not paying attention, RFK Jr. suspended his campaign. And by suspended his campaign, what he said was his strategy is in Republican states, red states, he is removing himself from the ballot.
Yeah.
In,
Not just any in battlegrounds.
and battleground states, he's removing himself from the ballot.
And our Secretary of State won't remove him.
And what he said was in the blue states, which we're a battleground right now, but he said in the blue states, I'll stay on the ballot, vote for me, it'll take it away from Kamala. But in all of these other states, the battleground and the other ones, vote for Donald Trump.
So
there's actually
SPLC Benson is refusing to remove him from the ballot.
Yes.
On what grounds?
Yeah,
So
what-
is Wisconsin.
So-
On the grounds that it's already a done deal. People already ordered their things and
Oh,
he's
well,
on the ballot.
Is that the truth?
Well, I mean, if people have already ordered their absentee ballots, and absentee ballots went out and go out in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
How does that work? We just changed up the president in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
You can't remove
Right.
somebody running for president.
No. Well, she won't. She just flat out won't remove him.
So
It muddies
they've
the
got to
water.
change the ballots to reflect Biden or reflect Harris douchebag.
Mm-hmm. But that convention's over, and she's already been the nominee. She was predetermined to be the nominee before their convention, so
It's been
that's
like a
done.
month or so.
That was a done deal.
But he's within.
Yeah, they
their
didn't
convention
even need
was
to have a
right, but their
convention.
convention was last week, and he announced on Friday.
Right,
She accepted the nomination on Thursday.
right.
So they have to update the ballots from that convention that ended Thursday, but we can't take.
The ballots are a done deal. The DNC convention was not a convention.
Well, we know that.
It was a pep rally.
They've even admitted that the ballots were a done deal prior. The minute Biden dropped out of the race, it changed
Which
to Harris.
by all accounts, he didn't.
Yeah, so the
He had
Democrats
he
have
had
a nominee
bullied
that
out.
never got a single vote.
Yep.
Didn't
I
win a
mean-
single primary.
She didn't get a single vote in 2020 either when she ran for
That's right.
president.
It's quite the joke.
By hook or crook.
I don't know how legally they continue the thing, except we don't have enough people or the money juggernaut to challenge it.
Yeah,
You know?
it has been a crazy week because Tulsi Gabbard also.
Well, that's what I was going to point out.
Yeah,
Here's this.
Something else even more remarkable is Mark. Is it Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Admitted that he
Admitted?
Wait, I'm waiting for him to admit that he funded the last election to help change the outcome of the election.
Well,
because
he
once
had-
that happens, I
Right.
mean, all sorts of big crap's going to hit the window, and we may not have the kind of election we currently think we're going to have.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. People don't realize, when you talk about voter fraud, which we should always have a voter fraud conversation,
Always.
right? Because voter fraud does
It
exist,
does.
right? And it exists, I believe, on a pretty big level.
Ever
Right.
since the hanging chads.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Right. But people think when you're talking about voter fraud that it stops with the ballot harvesting and the cheating on election day. No, it's much, much more vast.
Mhm.
It's much more. The Zuckerberg committed voter fraud
Mhm.
when he interfered with the election in the United States of America
He
and
censored.
oppressed.
Yeah, he censored information
He
that was
censored, from the from people debating politics on Facebook on a small level
pertinent.
to the large level of oppressing negative stories about Hunter Biden
Yep.
and the Bidens.
COVID-19.
Right? What they
Russia,
did
on a
was
laptop.
voter fraud. That
Oh, yeah.
is,
And he admitted
and
to it.
election interference is a felony.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
You know?
He said he was sorry, Larry. What the fuck, man? He
Yeah.
said, I'm
I-
sorry.
One of the good theories going on right now is he's trying to get ahead of everything because
He knows it's coming.
he knows it's coming.
Kentucky Brown just made a comment today about how she's going to be voting on the outcome of a presidential election. What?
What?
She's going to be voting on the outcome of a presidential election? She's preparing for voting
Why
on
don't
an
she-
outcome of a presidential election?
Why don't you vote on the definition of a
Or
woman
ruling.
first?
Right, right. But she's why would she say, I'm preparing for ruling on the outcome of a presidential election if the 2020 election hasn't gone all the way up to the Supreme Court and they're going to be making their
I could see
judgment.
somebody with lesser intelligence saying that she's preparing for it
Mhm.
because it did go Bush v. Gore, and I think that's could be a strategic move to say that that Donald Trump doesn't have this, but it'll be contested.
Mhm.
Did you see
More-
Jack Smith did the charges again?
Yes, I got that.
Did you see Kemp's trying to remove the election board
No.
that's investigating the election because they found fraud?
Oh, nice.
And he's trying to have them removed. He's trying to go after them through
Because
his
they
AG.
found fraud.
Because they found fraud.
What are
Yeah.
you saying
Wow.
about
Which is
Jack
enough
Smith?
evidence for them to hire an outside
the
investigator.
Wow.
Let's cover that real quick. Jack Smith reinstituted. Let me see if I can find it because I wasn't on that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Here it is.
He's trying to reinstitute the case.
Jack Smith.
He appealed it, right?
Yeah.
No, he changed because there's double jeopardy. It would be considered double jeopardy. His explanation is they changed the language and it's a new indictment.
Yeah.
So they're re-indicting Trump on basically the same fraudulent indictment that they had before, that the Supreme Court ruled he couldn't be charged with because of presidential immunity. And they said, oh, no, we changed the language. So now we can indict him again.
He kind of looks like my brother.
He's evil. It all depends on what the definition of is.
Yes.
Right.
Wait, wasn't this the guy who said that looked like the human Woody doll?
Was it?
Was that the one that was speaking? Yeah, he was the guy who was speaking in the indictments. It's like that's what Woody would look like if he was a human.
So look at this one. This one's pretty cool. Here we go. There's Elon Musk and the Democrats telling him to fuck off. And there's Tulsi Gabbard, fuck off. And there's RFK Jr., fuck off. And then there's the Democrats going, why are you guys helping Trump? I don't know. Maybe because you disowned us, you know? And it's pretty interesting.
I mean, the way Tulsi tells it, she didn't kowtow to their whims, and that got her in all sorts of trouble. Yeah, she didn't kiss
put
the
her
ring.
on the terrorist watch list.
Yeah,
they had a U.S. Marshal anytime she flew, actually on the flight, following her.
Yeah,
that is evil shit.
Yeah, she's actually a centrist. And one of the last ones that were left. I mean, she's pro-abortion and she's pro-gay marriage and all that crap.
Legs, centrist,
but she's more to the center.
Tim.
Yeah,
and the Democrat Party has taken so many steps to the left that they're unrecognizable.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, they call people comrade and stuff. I think
and
that's
fellow
a bit
traveler.
further than
fellow
traveler. Well, that's the one thing.
Sidestep.
Well, that's what I mean. I have been watching them. I mean, they're not even close to being the same party they were under butt crack Obama.
No, not even close.
You know, so I mean, they're just unrecognizable as a party.
Dirty.
That it must be party before country.
Yep.
Always.
Of course.
Party before country.
That's scary shit right there.
Scary
shit.
Yeah, scary shit. Yeah, that's good. I was going to try to pull up the quote just to give it to you from RFK in part of his epic speech that he gave when he suspended his campaign, talking about Friday. One of the things he said to kind of wrap it all up was he said, you know what, the difference is, he said, there's a lot of things I don't agree with President Trump on, and there's a lot of things he doesn't agree with me on. He said, what we do agree on is that our dislike for each other or partisan politics or any of these other things are not as important as the health and safety of our kids.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, that guy has been, no matter what you think of RFK in general,
notes that I was going to.
Yeah, is that RFK has been a staunch advocate for health freedom. He wrote the book, The Real Dr. Fauci. He has been fighting, and in his speech, he talked about how horrible. It's funny. He was on, I don't know if it was Rogan or who he was on, and he said, you know that the atrazine is turning frogs from one sex to another.
Oh, that's
and Joe goes, yeah, Alex was talking about that 15 years ago, but you know, welcome to the party.
Right.
Turns the frogs gay. It's on info. Yeah.
You know,
but they were saying, Jeremy, I wrote my note here if you talked about it, that he might get as a health czar in something.
Yeah.
In the
right here. So they're saying, this is fact checking, saying he exaggerates. So I'm not even going to pull up the article, but yes, the one thing that him and Trump have really honed in on, working together on, is President Trump is talking about RFK becoming the head over the chronic disease cabinet. Whatever, I don't know how that would actually look, but basically appointing him to overlook the chronic disease. And RFK was very articulate when he went through talking about how bad the chronic disease is in this country, from the foods being genetically modified or poisoned or garbage. You know, he broke all of that stuff down, and he said, we're killing ourselves.
Yeah, to the branding causing parents.
Well, they were talking
teach kids on liking unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
Versus in other countries, where you ask a 7-year-old what their favorite food is and say broccoli or white rice or something.
Yeah, exactly. What were you gonna say, Larry?
This morning on the talk shows on AM 910, they were talking about Tulsi Gabbard maybe for Secretary of Defense.
Well,
She's got the aptitude for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, she is pro gay marriage and stuff like that.
There's nothing to do with Secretary of
But
Defense,
she's
though.
not. Oh no, the military's very woke,
Well,
and that's why they can't. Nobody wants to join the military anymore because it's all a bunch of.
she may be pro-gay marriage and pro-abortion,
Yeah,
but
but I
she's
don't
not
think-
pushing
I
those
don't think
agendas.
she's pro woke.
Yeah, and there's a huge difference.
Yes, there is.
Huge difference. For somebody to say,
The difference
well,
between night and day, they're not the same thing.
exactly. You may find somebody that's like, oh, I'm not a, abortion, whatever. You go, you're not for, totally against abortion. Nah, do whatever, because they may not have, whatever. Versus the person like who just recently had a big meeting. I think it was the DNC there in Chicago where they had abortion bans
Yes,
outside of the arena.
Available and
they were
vasectomies,
yes,
Mhm.
and they were they were killing babies and chopping nuts.
Yeah.
They had a good mime guy.
So there's a big difference between people who don't outright oppose abortion and those who promote it and want to sacrifice and murder children.
What's funny is prior to the DNC convention, people were talking about the fact that they were going to have Murder on Wheels at their convention, and they were like, "We are not. That's a conspiracy theory." Blah, blah, blah. And then Murder Wheels showed up.
It was somebody put up a funny mime. I don't know who did it, but it was like a guy said,
Are you saying
I went to the DNC and I went to the food truck and I came out sterile.
I went to the food.
Where's
truck
that one at?
I don't know. I saw it. I don't know if
Dude,
it was on mine. I saw it somewhere. But it's like, that's funny.
You got to save those memes and send them to me.
That
didn't
is
say them.
funny.
So look at this.
Push the button.
I'm trying to push the button. It did not work. There it is. 3 former Democrats who had enough.
Yeah.
I like it. And the thing about it is, we'd like them all to be. I'm. The more and more we dive into this, it's like, all right, 80-90%. I can't remember who it was on InfoWars today. You were listening to, but they said, look, man, RFK coming over, that's a win. Let's just take the win.
Right.
Why do we got to quibble over, okay, yes,
What he said,
he knows it, Trump knows it, that they don't agree on a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
But what they do agree on, they can partner with, and we can get some stuff done. The guy's been against destructive vaccines and the horrible state of our medical and our kids being poisoned and chronic disease. He's okay, then that's your area. And that's what I was saying about Tulsi Gabbard being in the Secretary of Defense. Perfect. She has a military background and she's not woke. Agreed. 100%. She may be saying, along the abortion and not opposed to gay marriage and stuff like that. But I guarantee you she's not walking down the street while the naked men with glitter on their dongs are
Gyrating in front of children.
Exactly.
While you're working on the roof and Larry's driving the thing and she's cutting hair and Jima's doing her thing and stuff, I'm sitting there, and when RFK came on the TV, I immediately took off whatever, and I had CNN on. As soon as he got done talking, CNN had his cousin, a next door neighbor, right on there calling him. Well, we've all known in the family he's mentally ill. Now like that. He gets done speaking, and there's the cousin right there talking shit about
Well, they got to drag him through the mud because if he gets any leverage or traction.
They can't kill him outright. So character assassination.
Right.
And it's. I don't think it's going to work I don't think those tricks are going to work so well for the Democrat Party anymore, because it's all they've ever done is character assassination, and really,
or actual assassination.
They don't have a platform.
No, that's the biggest problem that I have with the whole situation is like, you're going to bash somebody else. You're going to lie and say, you're not going to do this and you're not going to do this and you're going to stop this person from doing this and all this. What are you going to do? Shut up about everybody else.
There you go.
And tell me what your plan is
for
our country.
She's not going to do that.
Stop.
Okay.
I want
gonna
to
do
get
that.
on TV when she does that crap and go, stop. This abortion thing just burns me because they go, oh, Trump's against abortion and he's going to get it
No, he's not.
federally, abortion.
Well, see,
So
and,
it's
and that's
illegal.
the thing.
Most
But-
of these
but the
dingbats
fact of
think
the matter
Project
is-
25 his.
The
and it's
fact
not.
of the matter is, I've been here a long time. It's your personal responsibility and your choice. It's not my government, okay? And that's what Harris said. She's like, well, you don't want the government telling you how to do things with your body. Excuse me, but you're on the wrong side because you've been saying what we have to do from day one. The problem I have is, you know what? If you don't want to have a baby, what would be the best way to do that?
Stop
Keep your
having
legs
sex.
closed.
Stop having sex, get on birth control, use a condom, do all three. I don't care. But don't tell me that some man, Trump, they're putting it on him. Don't tell me that Trump's the one who's causing the problem.
And Trump,
Because it's not.
Well,
And
not
there's
all of
something
this-
everybody has to realize here. The Supreme Court made the ruling. It's a states' rights issue. So
Yeah.
even
Right.
if Trump wanted to sign a national abortion ban,
Couldn't do
which
it.
he has come out and says he does not,
No.
it wouldn't be
It wouldn't.
constitutional.
But Kamala
because it's a
Harris
straight-
is putting
it's a
it out
state
there
rights
that
issue.
he's going to sign it right off
right,
the
because
bat
she's
when
a
he
lying,
gets in.
because she's a
and low
lying.
information
And-
people
and-
eat it up.
And
Yes.
they eat it up. And that's
She's a
my
lying
problem.
Jezebel.
She is.
Yep, she is.
And that's dynamic. And again, Trump gets criticism from the left and the right on that abortion issue. One, he appointed 3 conservative judges.
Thank you.
That's what he did.
There you go.
And then when this issue finally came up, what did he do? People don't think that Roe v. Wade, it was never the law of the land. It was a judicial decision that was then used under color of law.
Right.
By overturning it, that's what triggered it being sent back to the states. Now states are showing their true colors and voting either to ban it or go beyond it and say, oh yeah, 2 weeks after the kid's born, you can still abort them.
California's got that rule.
Yeah. Did you pack that, Kelli?
You know, it was really sick, really, really sick when this was going through, like
Shut
in the
up.
courts, and everybody was waiting for it to come out. I went on X,
You
and
ever hand over your
who's that?
microphone?
No,
The one. That,
Okay, you're good.
my hair's even off it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you were
I just didn't hear you for a minute.
Who's that? One of that's on X, something libtards or whatever.
Libs
she's-
of TikTok.
She put it, and it was the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. There's this liberal pro-abortion lady, and you know those seal meals?
Mhm.
She actually had a seal meal about this big with 9 little,
Little babies.
Little baby.
and she goes, "These are my babies."
Ew.
And I was like, "That is the
Oh,
sickest
dear God.
Ziploc from the abortion, like take it home and Ziploc them."
Oh,
And she's holding it up 9.
And
These
that,
are my
and
babies.
that's
It's sick.
That's
I was
the
like,
problem I have because you're
demonic.
sick. She's sick. That woman's
Right, it's
sick.
very
Okay.
sick.
And you're gonna tell me that Trump is he's causing me problems because he doesn't want me to get an abortion. Who's sick?
The
Trump
serial
or the
abortionist.
lady?
Who's sick is those states that allow it up to
Post birth.
up to birth, whatever. But
Oh
But
dear God.
if you've ever, you can Google search images and stuff of what happens when a baby would be viable, what they do, and they've got it in a pan, and there's half a head and arms. And
Yeah.
there was one
It's
just
disgusting.
talking about
It's just
extra
disgusting.
dissection to make sure that the partial birth doesn't happen.
Well, and here's
Whatever.
the other dirty secret about this is there is the horrible dissection. What do they call it? A vivisection or something like that? Where they literally go in and they
Chop
pull
pieces.
the baby apart piece by piece.
Yeah.
But then there are the other ones, the partial birth.
That's illegal.
Well, what they're not in some states.
Not in
They're pulling them
Michigan,
out and they're keeping them alive until they have places that they line
Farm
up all the
apart.
body
they can
parts.
harvest.
They
Yeah.
harvest all the body parts.
Oh
And
God.
they have, I think it was like $1,500 for a liver.
Yeah.
Oh dear Jesus.
$3,600 for a brain.
Right.
I mean, they have one lady was talking about the Mercedes she was gonna buy with what she
Yep.
was dealing with selling these
All right,
cars.
let's move on.
Oh my
Yep.
It's so
God.
disgusting. These people are sick.
They are
Mhm.
sick.
And that's the problem. You know, let's get back to our government and our politics, and you know what? And pray for these people who are so demonic that they have no sense of worth. How can you have a sense of worth if you think it's okay
To do that.
to have 9 fetuses and you show it like it's a prize?
It's a baby. It's not a fetus.
Exactly.
It's a baby. That's
And
a
that's
baby.
and that's
And
I don't
it's
know
like-
how I don't know how old one that's like looks like a peanut about that
well,
size.
but why would you be
Still-
proud of that?
Don't they sick? Well, we
It's-
closed
Exactly.
the mental. We closed the mental hospitals.
It's
Yeah.
sick, and I don't want to be a part of that. I
Mhm.
don't want to listen to it.
No, I can't
I
even
don't want to
fathom.
pay
You know,
for it.
I don't exactly.
that's
the
I
number one
don't
thing.
want to pay for it. I don't want.
You do
this.
what you want with your
Right.
body,
Yeah.
and you do what you want with the body inside your body. As long as I don't have to pay for it, you're the one that has to deal with God at
Right.
the end of the day.
And amen.
And that's
That's how I
the
feel
crazy thing
about
is
it.
paying for it, $300 a pop or whatever it is now, $400 a pop for killing a baby in the womb. And then they harvest the parts
And
and make
oh,
1,000 times
so
that
much.
amount of money.
Yes, and then we fund them with our tax dollars. It's like just a
Yep.
in death.
Yep.
It's
and
disgusting.
it's a vicious circle because it keeps coming around and
Yep.
coming around. And
Sacrificing
coming
to
around.
Moloch. So here's what, going back to RFK, here's what some of his lovely family members had. Here's an open letter to to Carrie Kennedy. She's responding. Tammy Bruce is responding. You people are awful despite your family's checkered past and horrible behavior. And so many of the men in America have stood out loyalty, sentiment, and often blah, blah, blah. Here's the letter from RFK's, I don't know who Carrie Kennedy is. Cousin,
If you go
sister,
down, but it says
is it-
signed by who it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't say their relationship to it. Anyways, here's the statement. On Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s announcement today, we want all America filled with hope and bound together by a shared vision of a brighter future, a future defined by individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. Okay, I agree with all of that.
Yep, that's why I'm voting for Trump.
Here's the period on that first sentence, and here's where stupidity reigns. We believe that we believe in Harrison Waltz. Our brother Bobby's decision to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values of our family, or our father and our family most hold dear. It is sad, ending to a sad story. Okay. Kathleen Kennedy, Courtney Kennedy, Carrie Kennedy, Chris Kennedy, Rory Kennedy. You know what? You can all go fuck yourself. Because the reality is, Harris and Waltz are the exact opposite of individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. They don't want national pride. They want our borders flooded.
And what they're also forgetting is that Kennedy opposed communism.
100%.
So he would never have supported the Democrat Party today.
But that's the whole point of RFK. In his speech, he
Right.
said the party of the Democrats today is not the party of my father or my uncle.
It isn't.
You know, and
And
that's
he's
why
right.
Patrick brought up last week. He's more of a moderate Democrat, or even because the Democrat Party of today is straight up just demonic.
They have lost their moral compass. That's for sure.
No,
And-
that's
and
why
I can't, I can't even listen to them.
that's what I tell people. It's like you cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat anymore.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, because the
You just can't.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-mm.
not. They're opposing beliefs.
Mhm.
Christianity and Democrats are now. They're like reverse magnets.
Yeah.
They repel each other.
Yep. So it's very interesting with Kennedy on there. Are we getting close to
Break time? Yes, we are.
Oh shoot.
Larry calls it.
Yep.
nothing prepared?
9:26.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip out.
You're going to
too,
skip out. So let me give
let's-
you your final thought here, Grandma.
Yeah, give me. Well, I'm glad I came. I didn't have a lot to say because I'm not in the convention and all that good stuff like all these guys.
Oh, show everybody your bracelet that the Queen
But-
made
Oh.
for you. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Show your
got,
bracelet.
I got a bracelet.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
it's got a cancer symbol. The cancer symbol.
survivors.
Cancer survivor. Anyways, yeah, my thoughts obviously are that I'm done with this. Oh, I'm here. No, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. From Harris, from Kamala. I can't stand it. Okay.
Right.
And I pray that everyone out there sees how she is trying to make herself look better
Mhm.
in reality of what she really truly believes. Her mouth is not speaking the truth. And I that's my opinion.
No, that's the
You know,
truth. Yeah.
And I feel like it's a fact because, and what have you heard from her prior to this, getting on the ballot? What have you heard from her before that? Nothing. She hasn't done anything. How many times did they ask her to go to the border wall and all this other stuff? And she didn't.
Well, she was against the wall, and they got a bunch of recordings.
She
Now
didn't-
she's for the wall.
She didn't do
No,
anything.
she's for the wall
though.
now. Did she adopt the wall now too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She's popped on everything.
So
She's
the
in
lady-
the picture. She's in
so
the
the
picture with the
lady
wall, Trump's wall
that-
behind her, acting like it's hers.
So the lady that cast the deciding vote
Mhm.
to send 80,000 IRS agents after waiters and bartenders
Mhm.
and
She's-
waitresses.
She's for tips now.
Now
too.
she's for
No
no
taxes.
tips,
No taxes on tips.
And
tips.
she's
About a
changed.
month
Now
after
all
Trump-
of a sudden she wants a wall.
Yes, she does.
Mhm.
And they got quotes of her saying,
I want to take a poll. Everybody believes that she's going to really stick to these convictions. Please
Oh,
raise your
fuck.
hand.
please.
I just want her
Okay.
to crash and burn soon.
Yeah.
I do. And
Well, they're working really hard at it.
I know but the thing that gets me is like anybody who puts up a sign in their yard for her really is not listening,
No.
No.
because my 10-year-old great grandson hears it and he tells her to shut up
Right.
because he knows she's spewing out what she thinks everybody's going to join and hear. And in fact, if you go back, all you have to do is go, okay, you said it here this
Mhm.
way. Now you're saying it this way. You're changing.
Mhm.
What's going on? Are you a chameleon? Are you?
Well, see, that's
No.
why we need our press to do their job, and they're not doing their job. The press,
I agree.
the press should do their job.
Well, the
But
press,
they've been
you got to
bought off.
understand, the press thinks their job is to elect Democrats.
Right,
I
but
think
it-
they've been
That's
bought
what they
off.
think their job is.
As their
course,
company model implodes right in front of them, they have to lay off, continually lay off people because they got to close down.
Yeah.
Agree
so
100%.
Because people are turning
my
them
whole
off in
thing
droves.
is, please pray for this country and pray for our children
Yep.
and our grandchildren and our great grandchildren, because you know what, the most important thing is family and love,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not a lot going on in this country. When you can go, I had a guy, I went to a concert in Fenton, and the guy, it's an outdoor concert, you can't see anything. You get up when you want to see the band and you'll go up and dance, but you're sitting in your seats and everything. And he goes, sit down, like this to me. I just got there and I looked at him and he goes, what? I don't know you from the man in the moon, but the spirit I could feel. And he goes, you sit down. And I said, why? I got here 2 minutes ago. I didn't say that. I just said, why? And he goes, so we can see. I goes, really? You can't see anything. Okay. Now, mind you, you really can't. It's all level ground. We're all sitting on the seat. There's a bunch of dancers up there, like general people dance. You can't even see the band. And I goes, you can't see anything. And I feel like he was looking for a problem. Not only did he do that, but next to about an hour later, my girlfriend comes over and she gets right in front of him. Okay. And she goes, you don't mind if I stand up and dance? And he goes, oh no, it's no problem.
Yeah.
My head exploded
You're like, you prick.
because are you kidding me here? Did he judge me for the way I look, or was he just an asshole to begin with? But then he's like, oh, no problem, you know. And so I talked to my girlfriend afterwards. I goes, you know, that guy told me to sit down. I said, because he couldn't see the band. And she goes, I can't see it anyways. I said, yeah, but then when you said, you know, is it okay if I stand up? He was all nice and nice. She goes, oh, no, when we first got here, his spirit, she goes, I knew something was wrong with him. And I said, yeah, and that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
He had no call to do any of that. Let's come and have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And he wants to have a problem. And so stop having problems, people. Get along. Love your family. Love your children. Take care of them and tell them the truth.
Right.
Let's get back to the truth and pray that God intervenes in some of this stuff, because some of these people just need to be taken out.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to take our normal break, and we'll be back shortly, guys.
Talk about Jeff.
Without Grandma.
Without
Say goodbye to Grandma.
Grandma's got to go. It's
Ella.
funny, like,
Mexico is really taking advantage of our country. They want billions of dollars just to talk. They wouldn't say that with me. They wanted, I think, $2 billion to talk, right? We will talk. We want $2 billion before we even start. That wouldn't happen with me. I would say, oh, really? Is that right? That's the end of trade with Mexico. And they would say, sir, we will give you $2 billion. How about that? So I'll send Kamala's illegal aliens back home where they belong. We have a problem because when I came in, they wouldn't accept MS-13 gang members. I told the generals we're going to get the gang members out. ICE and Border Patrol, the job these people do, but ICE would go into the country, get the MS-13 gang members out, the meanest, the most vicious. They kill people with knives. They killed 2 young students walking to school, 2 beautiful young 16-year-old girls walking to school. They killed them up and chopped them up into pieces with knives, dead. And ICE goes in and they go into those packs of rough people. And ICE is rougher than they are. These are incredible, brave patriots. A lot of people wouldn't want that job. You see fists and feet, you see everything flying, and then 2 minutes later they stand up and they grab them and they throw them into what they used to call a paddy wagon. They put them into planes, they take them out. The countries wouldn't take them back under President Obama. And I said, really, they're not going to take them back? Well, if they're not going to take them back, I'm going to stop paying them. I said, how much money do we pay these countries? El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and others. He said, how much money do we pay? $750 million. I said, good, inform them we're not paying them anymore. And the following morning, I got calls from all of these countries. Sir, there must be a misunderstanding. We would love to take them back. We would love to have MS-13. We would love to have MS-13 back in our country. It would be a great honor to have them back. And, you know, before we get too far, and we're almost finished, but before we get too far, I want to tell you that we have criminals from all over the world pouring into our country right now. Your job will never be obsolete, you know. It will never be obsolete, unfortunately. It'd be nice if we could have peace, but we're not going to have peace. And this is something we're going to have to live with for a long time. She has allowed millions of people, open border, to flow into our country totally unchecked, totally unvetted. And they come from jails and prisons, slightly different. They come from mental institutions all over the world. This isn't just in South America. People think it's South America. It's from Africa, Asia, the Middle East. All of the countries are sending them. And now they're coming in because of her, because she's so pathetic and weak at the border. The worst job, the worst border czar in history, I can tell you that. Whether she's a czar or just in charge of the border, it doesn't matter. But they're sending them in levels that we've never seen before. And they're destroying our country. But they all said, all three, it was almost like identical conversations. It was, sir, is there anything we can do to make up for this misunderstanding? I said, yep. You take your MS-13 and you take your gang members and you take your criminals and your drug dealers. We're sending them back, and we're sending them back today. And we sent thousands and thousands of people back. This has stopped for years. Under Bush it stopped, and under Obama it stopped. But this had been taking place for years, and I only found out about it. I said, that's good, get them out. I don't want to put them in our jails, because we put them in our jails. What are we going to do? Keep them for 50 years, 60 years, and the expense? The really bad ones, we did do that, though, however, because, we don't want them coming back. And what they're doing is they're literally dropping them in, they're busing them in, and they're bringing them in, and they're saying, don't ever come back. If you come back, you get the death penalty, or if you come back, you get killed. Don't ever come back. And you see the crime statistics are unbelievable. If you look at the jails are, they've never been so low in terms of world. I'm talking all over the world, because they're sending their criminals to the United States of America, and they're saying, don't ever come back. And their jails are being emptied, and their criminals are being taken off the streets, and their crime rates are plummeting. But that's what we want for our country. So we're sending those people back. And these are the people that can do it. So we're going to have a reformed Department of Justice. We'll once again be a friend and partner to our great local police and police officers general. And we'll be working with victims of crime very closely, but we'll not be working with the criminals that commit the crime. We're going to change it around. Right now, the criminal has a lot more respect within our Department of Justice than these are. And then you hear, oh no, the people coming in, they're much less violent than the people. Hey, that's not right. They're much more violent. And that, they make a hat. Sheriff, they make a hat. And I don't want to brag, but it says Trump was right about everything. And if you look, whether it's the border, this, I've been right about everything, unfortunately. I wish I wasn't. So when I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of our American suburbs, our cities and towns. And I think that women living in the suburbs, I keep hearing about the suburban woman doesn't like Trump. Well, I think it's a fake poll, because why would they like me? I keep the suburbs safe. I stopped low-income towers from rising right alongside of their house, and I'm keeping the illegal aliens away from the suburbs. I think that they like me a lot. We are going to let people, and we want people to come into our country. A lot of people. We need them. We need them for jobs. We need them for everything. We want people to come in, but they have to come in through a process. They have to come in legally. And we can let a lot of them come in, but John, we want them to come in to our country legally. We don't want to let people come in who murdered 19 people, and then you hire that person in a plant, and all of a sudden you notice that people are being killed all over town. We want them to come in legally. On day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country, bigger than Dwight Eisenhower. Dwight Eisenhower was he was sort of a moderate person, but he hated when people poured into our country, and he was very strong on deportation. We will remove all criminal aliens immediately. All of the criminals, we start with that. We're going to get them out of here fast. Bad things will happen. And if I'm elected, we're going to get them the hell out of here. We're going to get them out of here fast, very fast. when I was president, except that I totally defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate. Everyone said it would take 5 years. It took me like about 4 weeks because we have a great military. We have great generals, not the ones you see on television, not the ones that did the Afghanistan botchery, but we have great military people. I know them, and they're never going woke. You know, you keep hearing our military is going woke. The top people would like to see it, but it's never going to. These are not people, just like these people will never be. Do you promise you'll never be woke? I don't see a lot of wokeness. There's not a lot of wokeness. I don't think so. But we're going to stand up for law-abiding citizens of America. We're going to be really, I think, an inspiration to the world. But we have to start by remedying a situation that was caused by somebody that right now is running for president of the United States. She would be a disaster as president. I love our country. I didn't need this. I didn't have to do this. I didn't need to get indicted by any time I fly over a state. They indict you. Got indicted more than the great Alphonse Capone, right? For nothing. My father's looking down. My mother's looking down. He was such a good boy. I don't know what happened. But I didn't need this. I had a beautiful life. But to me, I wouldn't change it for the world because we're going to take this country. We're going to make it safe again. And we're going to make America great again. And I want to thank everybody for being here. And God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is my brain.
And we are back.
You notice a lot of people using the term nowadays instead of
Unalive.
saying kill, they're
I
saying
hate it.
unalive.
Unalive.
Yeah, that's to keep people from being
Yeah.
triggered.
Yeah, triggered.
But, so that was a little clippage from
you're on the overhead. Perfect.
the Trump visit episode we ran, where we had cut up the presentation he did for us over at our Livingston County Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
So he was in town and letting the Brown know
Emptying
what was going down.
And the
Emptying my
desperate
brain.
Democrats are trying to lawfare our awesome sheriff.
That's all they got.
Yep.
That's what they do.
Yep. And they don't actually
And
care
swords. They have
ultimately if
swords,
they
too.
win.
But we
They
all
want to
have
lock you
swords.
into a whole bunch of legal BS and then bog you down in that stuff.
Vance too. Vance did something recently, and they're with the police officers, and they're trying to do that wherever Vance was at just recently. Same type thing. Oops.
You want to put your microphone back on?
I was going to
For the
say,
show?
what is he? Is he talking?
He was
Yeah,
talking. I
I
don't
was
think anybody
talking.
heard him. He said that Vance
Vance did something at a police in their police department. They're trying to do that same shit.
Yeah.
Vance did what to whose goat for how many cookies?
Yes, for 4 cookies. So I did want to say, Grandma's quite right that there's no policy with Kamala, but she's also wrong because Kamala's policy is whatever she thinks the Trump voters would like for her to say, like the no tax on tips and build the wall now, and she's been done a good job on that.
Focus groups have been saying
Focus groups, yeah.
Yes, the best outcome for her appearance is to start adopting some of the messages.
Well, and the awesome thing
of the
is
Republicans.
her promise, Kamala's sincere promise, is that they will do all of this
Right after
day
she
one.
Gets, right after she gets
Not
elected.
now.
Not that she's in office.
Not that she's
day
Later.
one was 3.5 years ago. She can't do it on day one.
No, she wasn't president though. That was old Joe.
Oh,
She was the
She's
last
only
one
the
in the room with
VP
the
part of
13
that.
she's
people.
only the border czar.
Well, she was, but then she wasn't, but now she is.
Or no, she's not.
No,
it's hard to keep up.
It
with.
depends on the day.
Yes.
But she's
I
done
don't
a great
understand
job.
what you say. I haven't been to Europe either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to Europe either.
Have you been to the border, Kamala? Well, I haven't been to Europe either. What's your point?
Yeah. What's your point? I haven't been to Europe either. No
the only
sense whatsoever.
the only people dumber than Kamala Harris are the people who support her.
True. I will say this. I wanted to comment on one of the live chats there. Posberg was pointing out 50% of Christians. Why do 50% of Christians vote for Democrats then?
They don't. The actual number is 25 to 30.
Okay. Why do 25 to 30 vote for Democrats?
Because they have been fooled.
Well, they have been brainwashed. Yes. I have been in a lot of awesome churches throughout Detroit and across the Eastern Seaboard, preaching and teaching to a lot of black people, beautiful black people. When it comes to politics, they intrinsically vote Democrat.
That tide's changing.
Well, the tide is changing,
That's
but
why.
I'm telling you where
Yeah.
some of that 25 to 30% comes from.
Yeah.
I have friends right now that have posted on Facebook, and I quietly just snoozed their posts because I don't want to be in conflict on that level with them. That I've stood side by side and preached, freedom and liberty and deliverance in Christ on a platform, and to watch them post that they support Kamala. I'm like, this woman's not black. She has incarcerated more black men, gave them longer sentences. So she could slave labor them.
She's let people out of prison that have murdered people.
Yep.
Can I read something that's really funny? I got to read. Well, they had the protest at the courthouse.
Is that what that was?
Yeah,
Just
Sunday.
recently?
See, I didn't even know what was
All
going
right, tell
on.
the story.
There's
and then
another
tell.
protest. When was this?
This was Sunday.
Yeah.
They put it out on Julio Hassi's integrity, whatever, Livingston integrity or whatever.
Yeah.
They put out like, we're going to have a protest against the Nazis that were in Brighton and how those little. One guy with a paper hat, the burger. So I didn't even know it was coming, right? So they put this like page and a half how they're gonna get rid of the Nazis or whatever, and they got like 25 people to show up. I just have to read you. This is funny as hell. It's just one little paragraph of. Oops, where'd it go? Where is it?
Don't push buttons.
Okay, so there you go. So somebody said, "All right, blah 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 blah." So it said,
"Do you have notes for the show?"
Look at
awesome.
You can. She typed. This is how it's saying. You can find team leads. Okay, down at the courthouse when you show up, you can find team leads for any questions / concerns by looking for those of us in saggy shirts. Legal observers will be in green hats. Call any of them if police officers try to speak to you for any reason. Safety team will be marked with rainbow tape bandanas. Find them if anybody approaches to cause trouble. Do not handle yourself.
Can I tell you something?
This is freaking hilarious.
So this is part of their troublemakers training that they've been through to orchestrate this. They have these online Zoom sessions where they are trained how to be
legal observers.
Yes, yeah, they bring them in for them. Yeah.
I just had this vision where one of our good police officers is walking by the courthouse, just, hey, how you doing? They go, stop, green hat, do not engage. I'm like, somebody made a point. Think about it. Maybe they're actually trying to keep minorities out.
Oh.
And I said, that's a good conspiracy theory. They keep saying all this hate. There hasn't been a hate crime in 30 years. The KKK.
It was one dude that moved into Cohocton.
They even no. The guy was whatever. He's a 24.
He's from New York. Are you talking about Robert Miles?
No. We're talking about the 5-6 kids.
Oh yeah.
The little Nazis in the black with the thing. The one had the Burger King hat on. One of them was. They even said on their they were interviewed. One of the gals, and it's written. She goes. They tried to say none of them were from Livingston County. We know one of them was. One. One of them was from Livingston County. Out of 180,000 people, one of the 6.
I wonder, do you think they had team and possibly somebody that could act on behalf as their legal counsel behind their protest? Just wondering, just saying.
But the person brought that up. I'm not going to mention the name, and I go, think about it. There's Livingston County is like the safest, nicest place to live. They're the ones who keep promoting Nazi shit.
Yep.
Now, if you're a person of color, I wouldn't want to move to Livingston County. Maybe they're doing it to keep
From
out.
that hype.
I'll tell you,
From that hype shit?
my daughter's best friend, when we very first moved here, was afraid to come here because of the rhetoric that gets pushed. And I told her, I was like, honey, you're safe. She was terrified at first.
I was downtown talking to shop owners. They hate Julie Onasty and her little group. They hate it because how Livingston County is not like that. It's not. Show the proof. Show me a hate crime anywhere.
Yeah. Than AstroTurf protesters.
Well, wait a minute. There was a swastika painted on a tree.
Right.
Yeah. Did we ever discover who painted it?
I walk this trail every day with my
dog.
dog.
Wait,
They did
that
it
was
on
in
purpose.
That was in Oakland County.
Hey, what I
when-
Larry, if you watch,
they lied about it and said it was.
Speaking
in
of which,
Livingston.
the disruptor at the thing was from Oakland.
Was he?
Yep. So.
Oh, you're going to monkeypox. Okay.
Well, no, I'm going to this.
I got a very funny story when we get there.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Very
this
funny
first.
one.
We're gonna do this one first.
I need a rainbow bandana.
This was posted by one of our friends of the show, Tony Bradley. Let's see. Fact check this and take it down because I hurt someone's tender feelings.
That's a good one.
Hey, Facebook, F you. I have Indian blood in me. I'm a hoe isn't a tribe. I'm a hoe. I'm a hoe. I'm a hoe.
Funny.
I'm a hoe
That's a
tribe.
good one.
What tribe are you from?
She
from I'm a hoe tribe.
So she from I'm a hoe.
I got to get a rainbow bandana to be security.
Dude, so you know what? So you can sneak in and infiltrate. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple more of these bookmarks. So pop me off there,
that
Tim.
is funny.
Well, I mean,
I can't scroll through them
right?
because of the way the thing's set up.
Well, I'll just watch it on the TV behind you.
No.
I am.
See that? It didn't take me back to the save page by just going back. Here's one right here. If you guys grew up with these guys, you make fun of people who need safe spaces.
True.
Let's see. That would be Sam Kennison, and then that would be Andrew Dice Clay, and then that would be Eddie Murphy, and then that guy would be
George Carlin.
Man.
Nope, I don't know who none of those people are.
Yeah.
That's the.
I'll turn my mic off so you can hear me up residually.
Yeah. No kidding.
Kinnison was awesome. And then he would calm down. You know, he was actually a Baptist preacher.
He was.
And he was disillusioned by all of that, and I understand that completely. And he went on to become Sam Kinison on the stage, and that gifting of the Lord was still there, but he was using it for other reasons. But when he died, the last, I believe it was a year and a half, 2 years of his life, he had turned the corner and he was getting his heart right. And when he when he died, he was in a car accident. The person that held him, he said he was laying on the ground and he said, I'm not ready. And then he closed his eyes for a minute and he said, okay. So I think he, at the very end, he recognized it. So
Eddie Murphy, when he died, that's what we're talking about?
No, Sam Kinison. Eddie Murphy's still alive. We just watched him on
Tim.
Now, Andrew Dice
Scallops
Clay,
come
that
from
guy was
stingrays.
funny.
I was never a big Dice Clay because he was these just your flavor of vulgar
He was
one-liners.
vulgar. Yeah.
When that was my last name, I used to get that joke all the time.
Your last name was Clay at one point?
Dice at one point.
Oh, it was Dice. That's just a stage name. It's not his real
I
name.
know.
Yeah. What is his real name?
And George Carlin, we got that good picture of George Carlin there when he had hair.
He was funny.
Eddie Murphy is
He was
hilarious.
straight. That man.
Dude.
Eddie Murphy is not just funny, but an awesome actor.
Actually,
hilarious.
Yeah, that set and that picture, that I think the set he's doing.
That's hilarious, isn't it?
That one is, yeah, I
Or
think
is it raw?
that's right. No, that's right after the saltine cracker joke.
Is it?
Yep. Yeah, I've watched that thing like 400 times.
Because yeah, both his were some of the highest grossing comedy acts. Delirious and Raw were two of the highest ones.
Yeah, it's you.
It's you.
Stop it.
I'll
Let me
pick
come-
it up when I talk.
Let me come fix
Not here.
that.
Well, he fixed it the last time. He's trying to touch my fur. There.
Touch your fur?
Dude, I will
That
get the
sounds
It's eye
erotic.
candy. It's eye candy. For
I will
guys.
get the duct tape and just take that all
Tape
off.
it right to your chin.
Yeah. You gotta, yeah. I got a couple more of these memes, and then we're going to discuss monkeypox. Let's see this. This one's great. You guys are going to like this one. Having known that you've dealt with ticks in the past, and there's actually a tick that you can get a meat allergy from.
I
right?
have that.
So let's break these ticks down so you know your parasites being outside this year. There's the deer tick. Clearly there, right there.
With that almond shape.
Yep. There's the dog tick. That's very interesting there. You see the slight variation in the two. Then down, there's a wood tick.
Those are bigger too. I
Those
think.
are they're slightly bigger.
None of those are
you
the
can see
ones
us.
that cause my issues.
And so then the other one right over here on the bottom, on the other side, that is a Luna tick.
And they
A
can
Luna
do
tick.
a
That
lot
one's
of damage.
caused some issues.
That
for
one has
me.
caused a lot of damage.
Fucking
You know, out of the four there, it's the only one that cackles when it sucks your blood.
Like cicadas.
Yeah, when it's sucking your blood, it's the one that likes to cackle and go. I never been to Europe either. So what are we talking about?
Oh, my
Dude,
gosh.
she's got an evil witch laugh. All right, I got one more, and then we're going to discuss monkeypox. Monkeypox. Let's see here.
By the way, Andrew Dice Clay's real name is Andrew Clay Silverstein.
Yes, see, he didn't want that Jewish dynamic being there. So this was placed by one of our friends. This was one of our friends here. I don't know who the hell it is. I think it's, what does that say, Larry?
No,
It couldn't be Larry
I'm
because
not
he
gonna
does
say
the
who it
second.
is. It just rhymes. With
Yeah,
Barry Larson.
Gary reminds with
Just rhymes with
Stary.
Is it the one that has the guy that has all the warning signs around Heartland that say to beware of him?
Darson.
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
Yes.
It's that guy.
What?
That the guy that's got all the signs
That say,
warning that Larry's crazy.
watch out for Larry.
Mhm.
Larry Crossing.
Either way, here it is.
I,
Here it is. You may not like guns. That's your right. You may not believe in God. That's your choice. But if someone breaks into your home, the first two things you are going to do are, number one, call someone with a gun. And number two, pray they get there in time. Very good post from our friend Larry. I don't know who the hell that is.
Barry
but
Larson's.
Barry Larson's. Very good.
He was up-
Perry Larson's. There we go.
He was up late. He was up late too. 9
Wait,
o'clock.
it has to be Perry Z. Larson.
There you
Yes,
go.
it would be Perry.
Perry Z.
Perry
Larson.
Z. Larson.
Is that is he related to Sherry or Shelley Parsons?
He's
Casey's
related
little
to,
sidekick?
no such relation.
No such relations.
Who is that?
All right.
Casey Helton's got a profile that's Sherry or Shelley Parsons.
Sherry Parsons.
Sherry person. Oh, fun.
Claiming to be
You got
my
a
brother's my
female?
sister.
You got a twin? Female twin? Sherry.
Libtards are amazing.
See, now these are the friends that I love on Facebook. You know, Facebook is kind of a douchebag site nowadays, but you know what? A lot of our friends are awesome on here. Here's one, John Clore. If you can't afford gas, just buy an $80,000 electric car, dummy.
Right? Right. There you go.
You can't afford gas, buy an electric car.
I missed the here's your sign.
you know what's funny is the operating costs. It costs more to take an electric car 200 miles
Yes.
than it does a car that gets good gas mileage.
I have read
200
two
miles.
stories now. One was a school district that went full electric.
Yeah.
One burst into flames, caught on camera because, of course, you know, they got cameras.
Yeah.
Lit all of them on flame.
Yeah, those are nasty.
The entire fleet of school board or school
school
buses
buses.
burned down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then an electric car fleet that was built or bought by a city,
Yeah.
and it was for their electric buses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
One ignited.
Yep.
They all went down.
Those are nasty battery fires.
They
And they-
all
So,
went down.
Fire department won't even try to put them out.
No,
They just
Correct.
let 'em burn.
can't.
That's
You can't.
I got a
You
bunch of guys that work in the automotive industry here. Of course, it's big around this area in development.
It's the Motor City.
We live right here by Milford Proving Grounds.
Right.
And so I got a bunch of guys that I play hockey with. I won't what do you say? Say any names. I'll keep them innocent.
Let's call them Bert and Ernie.
So we talk. You know, we're hockey guys. You got to get dressed. You got to get undressed. You got to drink beer in the parking lot. You might go out to eat afterwards. You know,
And drink more beer.
And drink more beer.
And Ernie says,
So
"Bert, can I get a beer?"
all these different conversations are going on, and they brought it up, and they're like, "You would." He goes, "Yeah." When one of those batteries go out, they literally drag it out of the plant. They evacuate the plant, and then the fire guys that are assigned to that have to drag it out, and they just drag it out to the middle of the parking lot
Just
and let it burn because they can't put them out.
Right.
Because I brought up this is something that's coming out right now. It hasn't hit huge mainstream, but one of the sponsors for Alex Jones is the gold and silver guy.
Oh,
Dr. Elliott.
I thought it was. You said Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his last name's Elliott. Dr. Kirk Elliott.
Kirk Elliott.
Anyway, so he does silver. He sells silver and gold, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal deals, actually. Check it out. But either way, he's talking about how the silver is being shorted in China,
Right.
and it's kicking the prices up artificially. And the amount of silver that has been placed on order, meaning you do futures orders, there isn't enough silver to meet the orders because they know how much they harvest or how much they pull out of the ground every year. Here's the number one thing. Samsung has developed a solid state silver-based battery that will go anywhere from 600 to 1,000 miles on a single charge, and it will charge in less than 10 minutes.
Oh.
Do you think that's going to make it to market?
Oh no.
Wow.
They can't have that. They can't have that.
They can't have that because that would actually work.
Unless the elites are the only ones that have access to it. That's the only way that'll work.
No, I know how it'll work. This is how it'll work. They actually sell a subscription to access to charge.
Oh, that would be it.
That would be it.
Yeah,
Everything's going fucking subscriptions
It's
now.
ridiculous. He just got dinged with like 2 or 3 things of the
pieces
stuff
of
that he
software
uses.
that I use every day.
Yeah. And they're like, I already own this. Why do I
for
have
like
to
12
get
years?
Yeah, why do I have to all of a sudden to get the next update?
Yeah. It was stupid. It was
Have to
stupid.
switch to a subscription model.
Or I could pay $149 for lifetime. So I'm like, fuck it. I did.
You know, just like your rechargeable batteries you use them in this after a while, they, you just have to replace
You have
them
only so many cycles,
right?
And they're dead.
People don't realize, like, let's say you buy a used Tesla or whatever, it's like 8 years old. They only
the battery's done.
Their battery is close to being done, and you're going to pay
$35,000.
like 40 grand to put a battery in it.
Yep. So the only way that I could foresee this Samsung battery coming to market is Trump and Elon Musk being in office, because if Trump's in office, Elon would want the most efficient. He in the interview that him or the not the interview, but the Spaces talk that they had, Elon was first and foremost and said, no matter what, I sell electric cars, but we have to have gasoline powered stuff.
Right.
You're never going to get away from
Does this thing charge in 10 minutes, but could you charge it in your garage in an hour, just plugging it into the wall?
No, this is a 10-minute charge no matter what you're plugged into.
Well, if the grid supports it. I mean,
it's not a high. The way that they have developed this battery,
Silver State,
is it's phenomenal.
I wonder what the longevity is for this battery you're talking about. Like,
Well,
like
I think some of the tests that they've done with this battery were in drones, because they have aerial charging ports for drones. So like when you're droning, you can fly it into a charging port area. So it's a halo that charges while it's sitting in there. And it only takes a few minutes to charge it. Yeah.
And this will revolutionize if this comes to fruition, because, now if you've got that solid state and it doesn't add much weight to a phone, something like that, and how thin it is, you could have a phone that lasts you a week on a single charge, and
Which would be amazing.
It would be amazing. And they're afraid of that type of stuff because that's actually green efficiency type of stuff. That's actually the type of things that would be highly efficient. And they don't want to bring that out there because, I know of multiple stories. We're probably around the table. I know of multiple stories of people that developed an adapter for carbureted engines or an adapter for the fuel or
Didn't somebody invent a nitrogen car and the big
100%.
somebody one of the big threes
Oh, they
bought
all
it
buy
and
'em out.
killed it?
One
There
of
was one guy-
Ford's first was a hemp car. The body was made out of hemp and the fuel
whole
was
thing.
hemp.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They
It
wouldn't
was
let
light as a feather just
Yep,
about. And,
they wouldn't let him bring it to market.
And they would not allow it.
There was a guy out of Canada years ago that had a $25 or $35 kit that
I remember that.
he would send out the basic parts, but then everything else that you could get off the shelf, you had to get yourself, and it had the plans in it. And you would adapt that to your carbureted car, and you could go from 20 to 30 miles a gallon up to 70 or 80 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop him. They tried this, they tried that. They couldn't buy him out. You know what they did?
He's dead.
They employed the post office to delay his package deliveries
Right.
exactly 89 days, because after the 90 days, the post office is responsible to refund the money because they lost, or refund the cost of the product because they lost it. So they would delay him 89 days, and on the 89th day, they would release it. Well, by that time, the customers already contacted them saying they didn't get their package.
Mm-hmm.
They sent out a second one. Well, they didn't get that one because they delayed it, and then they sent out a third one. So they bankrupted him because his honor was to, well, you didn't get your package, I'm going to send you out another one.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they figured out it was the post office holding the packages so they couldn't get delivered under somebody else's orders. So you want to talk about conspiracy theories? Yeah, it was our buddy, one of our buddies. I want to point this one out. Did I save it?
N8 says school buses are $350,000
For the battery ones?
A school
I see
just
school
lost a whole
buses are
parking lot of
350.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. So John Roca says, share, I guess I pull it up on the screen for you guys to see it. Share a conspiracy theory you think is true, but very few people have ever heard of it.
Oh.
I couldn't resist. So here's what I said. There's a whole bunch of comments on here. You guys can find it on Facebook, either with me or with John Roca. I said, if you just asked for my favorite conspiracy theory, it would still have been difficult to pick just one. But you asked for the one that few people know about. Well, I was in line on Saturday at the convention, and this gentleman is discovering for the first time that 9/11 was an inside job.
Right.
So I couldn't even begin to tell him about the theories around Waco, Las Vegas shooting, Oklahoma City bombing, Tennessee trans shooter, USS Liberty attack, and MK Ultra.
Right.
And then a couple people commented on there like, yeah, and the Titanic being a hit job, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I think Ronnie was pointing out the loose change, even though he just says watch the documentary movie Change. But it's actually loose change.
Loose change.
And
loose
The
change
moon
too.
is hollow, John Roca.
oh yeah, the moon
It's
is
a satellite, John. It's not hollow. It's a satellite.
yeah. Cancer is look at this. Cancer is man-made.
Man-made.
Oh,
Man-made.
man-made. It's supposed to be man-made. Man-made and is patented along with every other health crisis. Yeah. So yeah, people just like they're doing here. Look at this one. I love this one. How big of a conspiracy theorist are you? Well, just hear me out. I'm just painting my roof blue in case
Did you know
the Hawaii
in
shit
China,
going.
Right after Lahaina happened in China, they were outside
Painting
their
roofs?
blue. I was like, holy hell. Somebody actually did a TikTok showing like the amount of blue roofs that started populating in China after Lahaina happened. I'm like, do you think they're worried?
What was that about? I don't.
So in
lasers.
Lahaina, when the big fire happened,
Space lasers.
Oh yeah.
everything with a blue roof or anything blue colored
Blue cars.
was untouched.
Really?
And so somebody started testing the theory with lasers and what was it? Lids. Different
Yes.
plastic lids. Burned through yellow, burned through red, burned through blue, skipped right over. They went over it with the laser.
Let me tell you this. When I was at Tinker Air Force Base, it's like the gas station for Air Force bases, right? It did everything. And they had this cool freaking plane, and it had these zits coming out and stuff. And I went over there. Ever since our security area was talking to the guy, I said, what is that? They go, that's a prototype laser plane. I said, no shit. He goes, the problem with it, though, is it won't affect, at that time, this is 82, 81.
Yeah.
It wouldn't affect anything white. So it could, they could shoot shit, but if it was white,
It would skip it.
It wouldn't.
It would skip it.
Wouldn't. I was like, oh shit! Since that time, it's a long time ago. But I'm talking
Now
to the
it's
guys that
blue.
would. It's like,
Well, and Tim and I
I
have had a
know
discussion.
that was true.
Tim and I have talked in the past that the blue LED was the most difficult to develop,
That's what it is.
and so the
I
blue
was
LED.
just Googling what was I trying to remember
Yeah,
that made blue so special.
Yeah.
The element required to
Really?
emanate the hue of blue
was
in the laser spectrum
Yeah.
was such a difficult metallurgic conundrum. The only guy that figured it out was a Japanese guy,
Mhm.
and he went through a certain. There's a whole documentary on it.
Right,
It's
right.
amazing.
Huh.
The origin of the blue LED.
And I
Look for it
want
on
to
streaming.
say, maybe we look this up real quick. I
Yeah.
want to say that blue neon is one of the most difficult to make as well.
Right, yeah, because it's the same.
Just a blue neon. Now think about this.
Metal
We haven't even
looking.
gone down this road of discussing it. We're doing this live on the show. This
Yeah.
is
This
we're
is-
gonna do it live. Anyways,
Just do it live.
think about this. The sky is blue.
Right.
The firmament is
Right.
blue.
Yeah.
So to have other light emitting things
Right.
that are blue
Right.
would, by nature, through God's creation, be some of the most difficult to imitate.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
That because it's
Would
a
that
higher
make sense?
wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Before you go to
yeah.
before you go to the ultraviolet.
Correct.
What about my blue balls?
That's a
That's
whole
between
other
you and your
subject
wife.
that you and Larry need to have discussions about.
I said his wife. I was
Larry's
keeping
not
it
paying
clean.
attention.
He's
I
not.
meant this.
Oh,
What the hell's
you
wrong
gave
with
him
you?
blue. Hey,
You gave
listen,
me a
we
blue
can't even
ball.
say this correctly. I can't even.
Now I
Yes.
know where this came
You're
from.
gonna try
Yes.
it?
It's
Yeah.
your roller ball.
It's my roller ball.
Oh.
So
I
Mr. Coffee
gave
does
Mr.
have at
Coffee
least one blue ball.
One
Yes.
of Jeremy's blue balls to play with because he was fidgeting with a pen.
This,
he's a
yes,
fidgeter.
yes, I am.
You
That's
better
the only
not.
way to
I'll
say
punch
it.
you right
Oh
in the
my
face.
I
Oh my
gave
God.
It's
Jeremy.
loud, too.
I gave Coffee one of Jeremy's blue balls
Yes, you
to
did.
play with because he was fiddling with a pen.
And it does. And it does.
Hey, that'll be clipped out of the show.
Does it work? I haven't clicked any pins, so
No, you get to have the other mechanism that the ball goes into,
No,
the sack
no.
area.
it's the sack area.
Oh
All
my.
right, can we move on?
Yeah, can we move on? Because I don't know why we were talking about lasers. Freaking
Frickin'
sharks with freaking lasers on their
lasers.
freaking heads.
Scallops. come
Let's look at
from-
this.
Come on, people.
Give it.
Scallops. They come from this fishy thing. It has wings.
The winged fish is
It's
called
So,
winged
all right.
fish.
So listen.
stingray.
All right.
These
So
fuckers.
we discovered this a number of months ago.
Yeah.
I like lobster and crab and scallops.
Mhm.
Those are my three favorite.
Same.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
But we discovered that scallops,
Mhm.
there are traditional real scallops,
Mhm.
and then there are scallops that are made from the
Winged fishy
wings of stingrays,
Manta ray.
skakes, and manta rays.
What?
thing.
Yes.
Bullshit.
It's a fish. Yep.
And they literally take a circular punch and they punch
Bullshit.
it out.
Yep.
And Coffee's down there
They're
because
lying.
he brought
Muscles.
mussels tonight, and I said,
See,
well,
now
I
they
prefer.
got you going.
I prefer.
I'm gonna have to look into this.
Yeah. So I said, well, I actually prefer, to have the
Stingray scallops.
stingray scallops. And he's like, no way, no
fucking
way,
way.
no fucking way. And then he looks it up and he's like, you sons of bitches.
I
And I'm
did
like,
because-
I don't make them. But yes,
I love
Bullshit.
manta rays and stingrays. Oh.
well,
They're
they get caught.
lying
They
to
get
you.
caught and they go through the cookie cutter.
Oh
No, they
my
don't.
gosh.
Oh, they do. Oh, they stab right through that cookie cutter.
Have you
Those
They're
seen
things
lying.
and
They're
pop out the
lying.
circles.
You see, he's playing it up.
Have you
Dude.
seen a black manta ray in real life?
Yeah.
Those bad boys are the coolest looking thing.
See,
I bet they taste
he's
good.
got you going too.
Oh yeah.
Shut your face hole.
Well, I'll eat anything. Really, I'll try it. If there was manta
Rocky
ray
Mountain
meat, I would eat
oysters.
it for
Mhm.
sure.
My favorite seafood is shrimp.
Have you ever-
And it's always going to be.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Shrimp and cocktail
I
sauce.
was looking it up.
Here we go. This is from Miss Vicky. She don't lie. What is the difference between? What's the difference between real and fake scallops? Here we go. Scallops are freshwater clams or marine bivalve mollusks. Scallops have a delicate, buttery, sweet flavor. Fresh scallops should not taste overly fishy, but be slightly salty. The flavor of scallops is compared to that of crab. One of the reasons I like them. Scallops are a real treat, and you should not pass them up when the opportunity given. Unfortunately, many restaurants sell imitation or fake scallops. Let's scroll down. Do fake scallops exist? Firstly, scallops are very expensive. This is partly because scallops are difficult to source. Scallops are dredged up from the ocean floor, handpicked by divers. Additionally, scallops are difficult to keep fresh. Added transportation costs and cooling. So this gives you the whole idea in here. So here we are. There is often demand, but a lack of supply and issued distributions, blah, blah, blah. To save money and always have quote unquote scallops on the menu, many restaurants sell imitation scallops. So what are imitation scallops? Okay. She's not telling me what the imitation. All right. So imitation scallops, on the other hand, will be perfectly round and the same shape because shark, stingray, and skate is often used to make imitation scallops. They are cut out with a cookie cutter device.
Yes, but shark, stingray, and skate. That's 3 different fishes. You tried to make it that scallops, you said scallops are from stingrays.
I wonder what the fake crab meat is that you buy.
Oh,
that's
whitefish.
pollock.
Yeah, it's just a whitefish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the whitefish.
I actually
With
don't have any,
dyes and chemicals added.
not the ones I get. Mine are straight up whitefish, orange roughy, and pollock.
No.
And they just use the fish in there.
No, they're made
and
out
they
of,
use the orange roughy for the orange color of
Orange
the.
coloring.
Yep.
they're made from shark penises.
And
I
it
have-
tastes.
I have an article on that.
I actually like some of the packaged crab meat better than regular crab meat because a lot of the
Saggies
regular
are all
crab meat
running
they
to the
don't
store.
take the time to
I like
wash it and get rid of the fishy taste. If
I
you
like
get
the
real
fake-
crab meat in the bone or in the
Ella.
shell, you can get real unfishy stuff. Shut
He
up
said
about Ella.
pollock. He didn't say
So,
Ella.
so you can spot artificial scallops because of their thickness.
Really?
Yes,
Ella.
like some of the leftist heads,
No.
they're thick. Real scallops have a similar thickness on all sides, whereas artificial scallops will often be thicker on one side.
Oh.
So now you know.
But they
Okay.
use shark, stingray, and skate. Now what is a
Correct.
skate?
It's fake.
It's another form of a stingray. If you saw a skate, you would not think
All right,
much different
now,
of it being
what do
a
you think? Is there
non-stingray.
a lot of stingrays and shit out there?
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
There's a tons, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
really?
tons.
Yeah.
Well, eat them. Fuck it and say it's scallops. I'm good. Let's move on.
Okay, there you go. All right, here's what we got to do. So now you know. And so what I said to Mr. Coffee was, I said, dude, once you realize that the scallops are not real, and you
See
fight me
how
over
he
it, you
says
fight
it?
me over it, you fight me over it,
Right.
right? And I went, okay, but how am I supposed to
Wait,
talk
wait.
to you about 9/11 or anything else if you can't even believe me when
Well,
I tell you
said
the truth?
Scallops. They just said imitation scallops. You were saying scallops are from stingrays. Imitation scallops are from stingrays. You see the difference? Apologize. Go ahead. Come.
I'm not going to apologize for your
You-
semantic misinterpretation.
No,
I literally said,
You said.
I literally said,
Oh no! And Timmy's sitting back there because he
No,
was backing
we
you up behind
literally
that bar.
said
Both
they're
of
from
them said, no,
stingrays.
scallops come from stingrays. No, imitate. See, and he's over there giggling. You can hear him way in the background. These fuckers.
that's not even true because you
Why
were the one
lie?
that pointed out that
You-
real scallops have the little tails on them. I said, yes.
No,
But the
fuck,
vast
I
majority-
did not say that at all. The fuck?
Anyways,
Ooh, that smells good.
it's good and
Jeez.
tasty.
Ooh,
All right,
remember
let's talk
drinking
about
that. It
monkeypox
smells
to
good.
end the show on a bang. Is there anything in chat?
I
Oh,
have
fuck,
to
I
tell
don't know.
you
We're
this
talking about
You got a
imitation
monkeypox story?
I got a monkeypox story.
All right, let's tee this up. Here's a headline from InfoWars. There was somebody that called into it, truck driver, not even a truck driver. No, he was a veteran that I'm trying to remember the conversation because I don't want to play it. He was a veteran when he got out of the service in 20 because of the bullshit and didn't want to take the jab. He started a trucking company. So here it is. Monkeypox vaccine being secretly shipped around the country warns trucking company owner. So this guy, veteran, a veteran who started a trucking company when he left the service, gets a call or multiple calls. Can you do some shipping for us? Potentially. What are you shipping? Oh, well, Schlong COVID. And so they're literally shipping monkeypox vaccines in the hundreds of thousands of dosage.
Which is a smallpox vaccine.
It's total smallpox vaccine.
Uh-huh.
And it is I listened to Dr. Stella Emanuel the other day on InfoWars. She hosted the 4th hour and she broke it down and explained what it is. It's basically she said it is a milder chicken pox, but a more aggressive,
virulent
pox. But the vast majority of people recover from it fairly simple. The problem is how it's transmitted
through
direct
fluid,
direct bodily fluid. Yes, and so it's cropping up predominantly in the gay community, as many things do.
I'm extremely disturbed. Some children they have 9 cases
Correct.
in California, I believe it is.
But
in children.
But here's the thing that I learned listening to Dr. Stella Emanuel is that it can survive up to 12 hours on surfaces.
So let me ask
of a couch, of a countertop, of something like that. So you could.
So if someone's right here and I went like this and went and licked my I could
just anything you touch in your skin is absorbed within 9 seconds.
So
it goes in your in your bloodstream
so
within
you
9
just have
seconds.
you would have to touch it.
Correct.
You don't have to have it in your
Correct.
butt or in your mouth.
And so you could release. You could really.
Him stop. Please.
Yeah, you could really. You could. This could be an interesting thing. What's your story, Kelly, on the monkey pox? Because I believe they're going to use this to derail the election this year.
So I have a friend who is a trainer of people in the medical field that are involved in emergency scenarios, and a university that is affiliated with some hospitals. A first-year pre-med student came in concerned that they had monkeypox. And the friend of mine that's a trainer was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what that is, but we'll go ahead. And the person she was training had to run through triage and figure out what was going on.
Do all the testing.
Right. So this first-year med student's upset and, visibly upset that they have monkeypox. And the story of how they came to have monkeypox was quite interesting. So the triage nurse is, going through how do you think you contracted? Well, I went to a party after we went to a nightclub after this, and I had intercourse with someone, and the next morning I showed up with these blisters. And she's like, well, can you show me the blisters? Now my friend is standing in the hallway observing and making sure that the person triaging is doing their job properly. And she's like, okay, so where are the blisters? And this first year med student shows the blisters. She starts giggling in the hallway. Triage student comes out and is like, what's going on? And she's like, ask her if she got new shoes before she went out to the club that night. First year med student had blisters on her feet and thought she had monkeypox. First year med, and this is gonna be your future doctor.
Yep, serious.
Future doctor.
Future doctor.
Isn't that nasty, man?
Yeah.
That's from the news.
What? No pictures. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mouse.
It's so gross. You know what? I learned. Somebody told me to look up something once that was a venereal disease, and I typed it in, and what I saw, I can never unsee ever again. Right. And it was part of the color blue.
Oh,
and a breakfast.
I would have shown you that, but you're a lady. It was just disgusting. Totally disgusting.
Yeah, monkeypox versus chickenpox. Oh, that was good. But we always talk about talk about chickenpox, but what about turkeypox?
Turkeypox.
Yeah, those are.
What?
We got all these different animal pox.
Yeah, turkeypox, monkeypox, chickenpox.
With chimeric DNA, people.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No, where's turkeypox at? I'm looking all over your screen. Fuck you. I'm looking all over the screen trying to, because I can't see over there. I'm seeing monkeypox. I'm seeing.
All right.
Where the fuck is turkeypox?
No, seriously, no.
All right,
Shut up. Jim, I'm never
wing-
going to believe anything you
from
say.
the wing
again.
of the stingray and their turkeypox.
Shut up.
This is
Imitation
turkeypox. Turkeypox virus is a virus in the family of the paradoxal and a genuine antiprovirus that causes turkeypox. It is one of the most common diseases in the wild turkey population. Turkeypox is a blah 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 and is transmitted through skin contact or through arthropods acting as mechanical.
Oh my God!
Start believing us,
Have you guys seen the deer with the papillomavirus?
So I was fucking with you, but it's
the
true.
what?
No, it is
Papillomavirus, the warts. There's deer, I guess, now
That have
in
warts?
Michigan that have their whole bodies are covered in warts.
Really?
Right. Well, it's carried by the
Never seen
jackalope.
one
You've seen a
before.
jackalope, right?
It is terrifying. Yeah, my dad
What's
showed
that
me
one
a
called?
picture.
It's carried by
What's
the
it called?
jackalope.
It's a deer infected with papillomavirus, which is like HPV.
So you're talking about deer with
Warts, like not genital warts, skin
Somebody
warts.
look that up.
Yeah.
Deer
yeah,
with warts.
Deer warts.
Well, it's crossed from the bunny population, hence the jackalope.
let's see.
No, this is like a real, like legit thing. My dad showed me a picture of it, and he told me
Like the jackalope?
Here we go.
no.
Deer warts are commonly
What
a
the hell?
neoplasm occurring in wild and domesticated deer in many species, and they caused by a host-specific viral
can't even-
infections. The fibromass occurs most frequently seen in animals under 2 years, with cases of older deer reported occasionally
How's that a
rare.
deer?
It's a dead deer.
It's a dead deer.
Which way is it?
Well, that looks like a leg.
Mm-hmm. But that's the warts on the body.
So
That's-
only visible sign of this thing in white-tailed deers is the fleshy wart-like growths on the skin. These growths can vary from a single cluster of warts. These warts can also vary in sizes from small to very large.
the
blah
one
blah
I
blah
saw
blah blah.
was an area like
Transmission. Apparently, there's a lot of gay deer getting it on with other deer and getting deer pox.
Oh,
apparently.
N8 verified my story about in the Air Force. They saw one at Wright-Patterson Air Force.
I don't know, but it's been
A
said
jackalope? Yeah.
Air
Yeah.
Force wings are made of lead.
Imitation.
Imitation. It's real meat. It's just not.
No, it's
the meat you
it's
think it is.
imitation scallops.
It is.
Not-
I'm just
It's
saying.
not scallops.
Oh,
It's imitation
It's
scallops.
fake
Let's
scallops.
move on.
It's fake scallops. Listen.
We went
Monkeypox.
All right,
from that to
monkeypox.
monkeypox,
So-
turkeypox, and deer warts.
So
What the fuck is next?
and many other people
Jackalope.
believe that monkeypox is the October surprise that they're going to release on us.
Well, I mean, they just shut down a couple towns in Massachusetts, I believe it
That
was.
wasn't for
monkeypox.
Mosquitoes.
I thought it was Tennessee.
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
gonna
for
look it up.
What's that,
equine-
EEE virus
Yeah,
or
equine
something?
encephalitis.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how did that happen?
They're indoors until the 30th of September.
Isn't that
Yeah,
Who
let's
is?
look that up. What was that?
The people, they're staying indoors?
Yeah,
There was
it's a
that-
voluntary
Oh.
stay-at-home order and from 6 p.m. at dusk until a.m. They're not supposed to go outside.
Is that the mutant mosquitoes? Because
The ones
once
that
the
Gates released?
did
Yeah.
All
to
right.
stop something and it created
That,
something.
that was
else.
a John Baum report.
Yeah, they
I
were
think,
talking
actually.
about it on
Thanks for
the
talking to
radio
Larry.
this morning, and the doctor was saying that there's absolutely nothing they can do to help you, nothing. And once you're bitten, you're bitten.
With equine encephalitis.
All right, here we go.
What's it do to you?
What were you going to say, Tim?
It
No,
causes
I was trying to
causes-
say as Larry started to talk, that was going to be one of the clips is a John Baum report on it.
Oh,
on
yes. We didn't get that
Band.video.
downloaded.
That was going to be part of the break.
Yes.
But it's only like 4.5 minutes. It wasn't long enough for our
Yeah.
10-minute
Bill
break.
Gates is at it again, releasing mosquitoes. Now, did anybody notice, and this is anecdotal because we don't have any sufficiency on this, which I don't care if people fact check us, but 3.5 weeks ago, we had some heavy rains,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but all of a sudden we had these huge zebra mosquitoes, the ones that are striped in the back end of them.
Oh, right.
They're big for Michigan.
Yeah.
And they were all of a sudden were everywhere. And then I watched 2.5 weeks ago, multiple people have mild flu
Me.
and not feel good.
That whole week.
Tim was gone down for a whole week. 2 of the guys at the job site were down. I had one day where I didn't feel very good. And I watched and I'm like, this is coinciding. And we know that Bill Gates is at the forefront of mosquitoes carrying
the flying syringes.
viruses.
Yeah, he's
Or
trying to
he-
get rid
he-
of the dengue fever and it causes something else.
Flying vaccines.
He wants to make them flying vaccines, but we know
Flying
what,
syringes,
that
yeah.
more people die from the vaccines, polio vaccines, from the COVID vaccines. More people have died from those than they actually died from
What he
the
was
original
trying,
disease.
whatever disease he was trying to eliminate by releasing those mosquitoes, it's up 4 times.
Correct.
Well,
Since he released it, 4
It's
times.
The whole premise that they released it under because it was a non-government organization that actually owns the patent that he funded
Correct.
for them. What they released them under the pretext of, and this is what they told the areas that they released them in, is that these are male born and they are made to breed out the population to destroy the females and the female egg producers, which is not true because Bill Gates has also been on stage talking about flying syringes and how it'll be easy to vaccinate an entire populace.
And you know how easy it is to eliminate mosquitoes in the wild? You put up several hundred bat houses in an area.
I love my bats.
And the bats will eat, what do they eat? Like 1,000 mosquitoes a night?
Oh, yeah.
I had one that was like gonna die in my pool. I rescued that dang bat because I was like, "There's no way I'm letting you die. You're my mosquito guy."
Bats are phenomenal. So look at this. This article. This is actually on Fox News. Did I say that correct? I didn't say that right. Fuck. Anyways, Northwest Town issues. This is 4 days ago. Northwest Towns. See, these are the things we didn't pay attention to. The Ohio town. What was it called? West. Where the train derailed.
Jerusalem.
Moscow or
Palestine.
East Palestine.
One of those Eastern Bloc countries.
Palestine.
Unless it affects you, you don't pay attention to this stuff. Here's a whole Northwest town issues voluntary lockdown to prevent the spread of a mosquito-borne virus. Of course, they got a picture of Donald Trump on there.
Till September 30th.
This is from Massachusetts. Four Massachusetts towns, Douglas, Oxford, Sutton, and Webster, have enacted a voluntary evening lockdown in an attempt to curb the spread of the deadly disease from mosquito-borne disease. Mosquito, whatever. The decision comes from Massachusetts Department of Public Health. They're always to be trusted. Confirmed the first human case of Eastern equine encephalitis since 2020 in Westchester County. Westchester County. On Wednesday, the Oxford Board of Health voted to support the recommendation for people to remain indoors at 6 p.m. effective immediately through September 30th, 2024, according to Public Health. So starting on October 1st, the recommendation to remain indoors from 5 p.m. until the first hard frost. This period is from dusk to dawn and considered peak mosquito hours.
Is that kind of mosquito you're talking about, that striped one that I've seen?
The zebra ones.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
And if you don't stay in your house,
you're gonna
Tim is gonna get the Brown Shirt Brigade to shoot you with paintballs on your porch.
Wow, that's in Minnesota, not Massachusetts. But the advisory delegates of the four communities, advisory designates the four communities critical risk because they had one case. It's, quote, it's the Board of Health's responsibility to protect the public. No, it's your responsibility to inform the public, and the public can protect themselves however they feel efficient. When you take over, that's called dictatorship.
Okay, now this disease, if I got bit by a mosquito, I can't give it to you, right?
No.
Right, so then it's up to the people if they want to go out after dusk and
get bit by mosquitoes.
But here's what they've done. They've done down an entire group of people, an entire population of people that will vote blue no matter what the name is on it. And they want to then translate the stupidity of their voters into controlling all of the rest of us. And if they can't control us, then they want to eliminate us. So far this year in Massachusetts, only been one human case of EEE. But throughout the state, mosquitoes have been tested positive. So we got to lock down 4 entire cities.
They want to call us domestic terrorists.
Lockdowns are considered recommendation. There's no enforcement as of yet for people to comply. But we had one case of somebody testing positive for a fucking mosquito. So we want to lock down everybody in these 4 towns and send them mail-in ballots and tell them to vote for Democrat. Anyways, and in this article, look at that, the blue headline there, with monkeypox, a public health emergency in Africa. What you must know about the increased virus risk. Here's the risk. Our government will exploit it. That's the true risk.
And if they can't get us locked down by this scare tactic, emergency power outage.
Don't let a good crisis go to waste.
Dr. Fauci.
Your microphone's not on.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci will save us.
Like you say,
Oxford is working with 3 other critical risk communities, with all 4 issuing these same recommendations to, quote,
let's go to the schools.
Schools are working to reschedule and adjust their sports schedules so practices and games occur before their evening times and on the weekends, because we can't have you out there playing football and get bit by a fucking mosquito.
Schools shut down because of COVID infection right now.
In Massachusetts?
and Tennessee and 4 other states, I believe.
For COVID?
COVID.
Really? How many cases? Like 2? And
I don't know. They didn't
You
really
know,
specify the case number.
May not even be a case. May just be the fear of having a case. You know, I mean, they destroyed 1 million chickens at one processing facility because
right.
one chicken tested positive for
H1N1.
for H1N1 on a PCR test that they can ramp up and find anything they want.
Yeah, you wanted to find nail polish remover, you would.
But low information people don't like to research
Love it,
actual things from,
Right.
health publications to learn that that's a thing.
So
Who do I
everybody,
vote for?
be aware. Listen, the way that we defeat this bullshit.
To wear a mask.
Can I get my Trump quote?
And I had this. Wear a mask.
Bullshit.
Yeah, thank you. The
Ella.
way that we defeat this bullshit is standing up against it. I refused to wear a mask the entire time of lockdown. I confronted multiple places, multiple businesses that tried to act like I was somehow spreading disease, while the people standing in front of me, their mask that they're wearing is so soiled from them touching it constantly. I'm like, do you realize when you wear rubber gloves, nothing gets absorbed in your skin? That's right, I got to protect but everything you touch gets transferred.
And every time you go like this, that gets transferred.
So the people wearing the gloves they protected themselves potentially. But that glove transferred every fucking thing they touched to every other fucking thing they touched.
Yeah, you know what I found amusing was during the COVID scare was driving around and noticing all the people in their car all by themselves with a mask on.
I told you about that car in Ann Arbor where they had masks literally over all the vents in the vehicle, and the person had 3 masks on driving. And I was like, oh no.
You're not living in fear, are you?
This is a person in the same society as me. This is kind of scary.
We're sitting there outside Diamonds having a lovely dinner with the Queen on whatever night, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. And this young, healthy, I don't know. I try to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a cancer person, but walking with a mask on. And then one of our participants on this board sends me a picture of 2 healthy 30-ish jogging couple, goes by her house all the time, jogging.
With masks.
With masks. Biking with masks with their dog.
Wow.
And they're
In the fresh air outside.
That's down the street, not around people, Did they wear a mask when they go have sex? Or
Probably.
Well, Fauci said to make sure that you wear your masks while either masturbating or having sex.
Masturbating?
Yes.
Yeah, they actually came out.
My dick's going to sneeze on me or something?
Well, that's what it generally does, but you don't want to get any in your face.
Yeah.
But it's mine.
Oh, maybe. No.
I don't get it. Fauci, explain that to me.
Nobody got
If I'm sick,
listen,
and I squirt my face.
It's just common sense that if your own bodily
If
fluids
you're
are in
heavy
contact
breathing-
with you,
Yeah, my
you
heavy
might.
breathing.
Yeah.
If I sneeze on myself, I'm going to give myself COVID that I had before or didn't have before.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
You're
Fauci,
reinfecting yourself, and that's not good.
That's a good invitation.
Isn't Fauci getting over something he was just hospitalized
Yeah, he just had
for?
COVID.
Oh, he just had COVID for the 15th time.
Was it COVID?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Oy vey.
Yeah. He was.
Oh,
He's
wait,
a
he had
sicko.
something
No,
else,
it
didn't
was
he?
something
Had something
else.
Was something
Yeah,
else?
it was
There's some-
another virus.
it's
of
another
some
virus,
sort.
yeah.
Yeah. He was
No, they said on
hospitalized
the
for
news
6 days.
Yeah, he was in the hospital for 6 days.
It was CWI.
recovering from COVID.
It was chronic willing ignorance.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think it was
Yeah,
COVID.
it was in the news this morning.
Whatever it was,
CWI.
Fauci was in there. The guy. Listen, right now under the
Fauci hospitalized for COVID.
we have the current administration. We have a dude pretending to be a girl as our health and human services director.
Mhm.
Assistant.
You're
Is it assistant surgeon general?
no surgeon general.
Assistant surgeon.
Pretending to be an admiral.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Oh fuck.
West Nile virus.
Oh,
West Nile.
Mm-hmm.
I had a buddy that named his
Oh.
band years ago,
Right.
West Nile from New York.
That's a mosquito-borne illness
Yes,
as
it is.
well.
Yes, it
What?
is.
What?
Wait, what about the ticks that they made and engineered on
In Jersey,
on the island there? What was that called? What was
Plum
that?
Islands.
Island? What were they? What kind of?
That was a level 4?
Yeah, level 4 lab.
Uh-huh.
But we want to keep those labs because if we don't create, if we don't
People spelling some
listen, if we don't
freaked out
discover these
animals around
diseases,
there.
somebody else will. Somebody else will discover these
Bunch
diseases.
of deer with warts.
Fucking warts on the deer. Oh, now you learned tonight, didn't you? And the rest of the chat, they learned about turkey pox, which you didn't think was real.
Well, I couldn't see it on there.
And the monkey pox.
Monkey pox.
But now we got deer pox too.
Yeah, deer pox. We got a bunch of pox.
It's a bunch of fucking pox. Deers, you know why? Because those deers are out there having homosexual intercourse and getting the
just the herbs.
Those bucks
are getting the pox.
Want to take those home?
No, but they're good.
Take them
Kids
home.
don't eat them all.
Take them home.
Larry's studying
give some
cookies.
to your wife.
Plus their kicks.
Take them home.
All right, let's do this. We got just a few minutes before the show's over tonight. It's been a good show. I want to apologize profusely because I think we were a little bit boring at the beginning of the show.
What?
Yes.
I think we were.
I don't think anybody cared about the
They don't
convention.
give a
I think,
fuck.
but I want to
I
have
do.
more fun than I'm recapping shit that I didn't. I was like, eh.
Yeah. You know, people are like burned on politics shit. But
I think a
thought it
lot
was
of people are
interesting
burned
'cause
on politics.
I think
I
so.
did.
Yeah. Anyways, there it
I
is.
did have a new name that I told Larry downstairs during break, and he agreed that some of the people that he was talking about when I called him what I called him, it's my new name. I heard it from somebody. I was like, that is genius. Dimplicans.
I think next week.
Dimplicans.
What? Explain that.
They are partially Dem, partially Republican. Dimplicans.
Dimplicans.
They say they're Republicans,
Right?
And they vote like they're Democrats.
So can we call
they're
them dimps?
Dimplicans. You can call them whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I really like that name.
I think this Republican Democrat dichotomy, it really comes down to even Larry likes to just throw out the rhino. I really don't see any. I think there are genuine people that are mostly on the Republican side who are not bought and paid for, who money is not their God.
Mm-hmm.
The love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, the love of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I could break down that whole scripture. It has even more dynamics in it in the Greek language. You've got Republicans, people who say they're Republicans, and the vast majority of the Democrats. Do you know why most of the churches that I observed in Detroit were Democrat? Because they use the same tactics to fleece the people for their money. The people that are rhinos in the Republican in name only, the number one reason why they are compromised is money.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it less as Democrat and Republican, and I see it as those who are beholding to money and are bought and paid for. And that's not to say that it isn't easy. It's easy. One person says, "Hey, listen, I know a whole bunch of inside baseball just being at state convention of people who flipped their vote and started stumping for other people. Not Larry, but other people started stumping for other people, and they were like, "Why are you stumping for that person? You've been out." They got paid.
Mm-hmm.
They got paid to flip their votes while they were there at the convention. So I look at less as Democrat and Republican. I look at more as who's willing to take a bribe to compromise and who isn't. I will never take a bribe. Not in my nature. Never been my thing. I'll live in a fucking cardboard box or find shelter somewhere rather than take a bribe to further my life. That's my true position on this. Less the Democrat Republican moniker. It's who's willing to be honorable and stand up for integrity and not take the bribe, and who isn't. And that's the aisles that I see.
All you got to do is look at somebody like AOC. A bartender goes to Washington D.C. 2 years later, she's worth $2 million. On a 90,000, whatever they start out.
Right.
as a
I'm too
junior.
much of a purist. I'm not. You can't come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm going to give you $1,500 to put on a Kamala Harris T-shirt."
I couldn't do it.
Right. I'm not selling out. You know.
Right.
It's
well,
like,
and it probably wouldn't be as extreme with you. It'd probably be put on the hat of this person. And you
well,
go,
yeah,
that person's a
yeah,
rhino.
but I didn't want to call out anybody.
How
That's why I use
How
that.
can a woman that's worth $70 million and another woman worth billions stand on a stage and say, "Don't trust the rich man"?
Right. Right.
Remember that?
Right.
Just
Right.
sitting at the
Talk
DNC.
about- yeah.
That was what's the
And one of
in a
them,
$2,800 pantsuit
Right.
with $1,700 shoes.
and one of them was the same one that was talking about let's raise money for Lahaina
Yeah.
when she owns half
Yeah.
the freaking
Right.
island.
Right.
Oh, and she
Don't
understands
trust-
poverty.
Right.
Don't trust the rich person.
Yeah, even
Oh.
though her and The Rock and Mark Zuckerberg were on the island trying to dispossess
Mm-hmm.
all of the indigenous people
Mm-hmm.
of their homes so that they could put up condos that they controlled and other high-priced things.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
She wanted to turn that, I think, what's her name? Oprah wanted to turn that into the first 15-minute area or something.
Right. 15-minute city.
Yeah.
Right, because
Okay.
they need to have workers that come and work at their various multi-million-dollar compounds, but they don't want them living there.
Mm-hmm.
They want them to go back to their little areas, but then you come over and lick my feet.
Don't trust the rich man.
You know, the first 15-minute city slated for Michigan,
Where?
Kalamazoo.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Wow. One of the top 5 most dangerous cities in Michigan.
Kalamazoo is slated to be one of the first 15-minute cities. Yeah.
What are they going to do with a crime?
I really like that one TV show. It only lasted for
They'll
one
put
episode
in
before
eagle-eye
they.
cameras. It'll be all good.
Everybody.
show's that?
They'll love
It was.
Joy.
It was.
Joy.
I'm trying to think of the name. But it was shot in Kalamazoo,
Oh, was it really?
and it was a cop comedy series. Actually, the Mayhem from the commercials, the guy that does
I
Mayhem,
love that guy.
Yeah.
he was in that series. If you get a chance, watch it. It was just a 1-season series, and the comedy in there. Josh Durham.
Yeah.
I think it's Durham. Josh Durham. He was one of the guy. He was the other lead in that show.
Well,
And they
that
had
guy
it
from
was
the
great.
commercial played a detective that kept stealing other people's cases in the 9-9.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah, it was a Brooklyn 9-9 series. He was in that,
Okay.
as well as Terry, the big black.
I think that's the same series.
That's the 9-9.
No, not Brooklyn, because it was only one for one series.
Well, no, this I watched the whole. There's like three series on streaming.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Quit,
hilarious.
quit squabbling. I'm checking out.
Coffee signed out on the paper. Go ahead, Coffee.
Oh, man.
I was falling asleep.
Guys, just do your fucking homework. Jeez, oh, Pete. If you're not thinking, think of your kids. Jeez, oh, Pete. That's all I got. Do your fucking homework.
Right?
I'm done.
That's it.
Sign in stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty sure it was the Brooklyn 9-9.
Kelly,
My turn?
is it your turn?
I don't know about anything anymore. I'm just gonna sign the paper.
It's all crazy now, isn't it?
I want sanity back.
Oh, shit.
I want to not have deception be the lead on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I want my grandchildren to be able to have something at least resembling freedom in their future.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing that on the menu right now. So there's that.
You're right.
The series was called Battle Creek.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was one season. We watched that.
Yeah.
You got Josh Jamal.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Josh, I
Man.
couldn't pronounce it.
When I was pregnant, I watched every episode of Vegas. That TV show Josh Jamal was
Yeah.
on. He was head of security. I watched every episode.
So the tagline for that one is the tagline is not all cops are buddies. So they were constantly at each other and they had to fight. But it was he does the mayhem thing. Where he's like getting beat up in the series, and it was
I've never heard
only,
of that show, and it
He
only
was-
lasted one season.
one season because our governor canceled the whole Hollywood contract. We had
It took
187.
place in Detroit.
Battle
No,
Creek.
in Battle Creek.
Oh, it was really in Battle
Mhm.
Creek.
Correct. And so we had 187 with one of the cast members from The Sopranos as a lead in that. It was a detective series.
Who canceled
We
it?
had Schneider was the one that canceled all of the
Hollywood contracts.
Hollywood contracts.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. So they all went to Atlanta, New Orleans, and a bunch of other places. And So the three big hubs
That was
other
a
than
dick
other
move.
than
He's a dumplikin.
dude.
Mhm.
So the three big hubs other than California, obviously, is Vancouver, New Orleans, and Atlanta. Those are some of the three go-tos. And you know why? Tax breaks. And then the cities actually make more money from the amount of productions going on there. And our fucking governor didn't have the wherewithal and insight to know that you have multiple movies coming here. The movie Whiplash was shot here. The movie, the other one with Juno was shot here. There were multiple other Batman.
Juno was shot here.
Yeah.
Juno was shot here. Yeah, I know the fucking the neighborhood and the I drove by the house where
Scream.
they used.
Where was Juno shot at? Here, when you say here.
I
Livingston
want to say
County?
Redford. No,
Oh,
no,
Redford.
Redford.
In
yeah.
Michigan.
In Michigan. Oh yeah. So was that movie. They actually filmed part of it next to my house when I lived in Brighton.
God,
Scream.
Right.
all the
No,
jobs, all the jobs,
the roller
all the,
derby one.
Oh, that was the
Whip it.
all
Whip
the
Whiplash.
jobs,
Whip
all
it.
the money they're spending
Whip it.
at eating and buying shit
Dude,
and stuff
you
would have
have all
made
the-
up
you-
10 fold.
Exactly. You empower the food trucks. You empower all of the extras.
Everything.
Matt, the owner of the gym down here that we're building, that also has the existing facility over off of Grand River. He was an extra for 2 days in Pontiac on the Batman versus Superman during the funeral scene. They shot that downtown Pontiac. They shot the funeral scene when it's going down the street. He was an extra in.
But just look at like the car show when they used to have it down at the rink. I mean, for a month, all the electricians, the carpet
Absolutely.
guys, everybody,
100%.
Unbelievable.
100%. And you
Food.
and you got an idiot governor that
The
puts the kibosh
hotels.
to that because you didn't want to get a tax breaks. I'm like,
All
dude,
right, I'm getting
the
pissed.
amount of tax revenue that you would have made if you'd have kept it here.
He was an idiot.
He was an idiot. Larry, just Beverly Hills Cop. They just shot Beverly Hills Cop. Axel Foley, the fourth one.
Yeah.
They shot part of it in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So here's that actor. By the way, this is the same actor at the bottom corner of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played the character or the vulture that came in and stole the case at the very last second from the
Oh, that
9-9.
was what it was called, the Vulture.
Yeah. Well, that was his character name, and this was the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he would come in and steal the case at the very last second. They'd do all the work, and he'd swoop in
and steal the case.
Eventually,
Nice.
one of the seasons he ended up becoming their actual captain and ran the place for
Nice.
He was also in Rescue Me.
Right.
And if you want to know anything about 9/11, that's a good movie or TV show to go
Uh-huh.
rewatch.
Mhm.
Just saying.
All right, Larry, final thoughts. You sign my paper?
Yes, I will sign your paper. My final thoughts tonight are going to be, yes. I want to warn the people of Fowlerville.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they need to on Tuesday, September 17th at 5 p.m. There's going to be a school board meeting.
Okay. What's that date again?
That is
17th September.
17th of September,
Okay.
5 p.m., 700 North Grand Avenue,
So
Fowlerville,
Monday?
Michigan. It's a Tuesday. September. Yep. They are going to be voting on boys and girls bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers, and boys and girls sports. So I would.
Making the bathrooms gender neutral.
Yes, they want to make the bathrooms gender neutral, so the retards are active in Fowlerville. So if you know somebody in Fowlerville, you need to call them up and let them know. You need to spread the word.
Yeah.
And you need to get as many people in this board meeting, the school board meeting, as possible. Because if you don't come crying when the bathrooms are all gender neutral. You got to either stand up and fight for your kids or shut the fuck up.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So, now, do they have? Is this? I'm just asking Larry. School board.
Didn't sign.
You didn't sign it? We'll sign it.
In Fowlerville, they have.
Dude, I was
they have
on the
school board
overhead the whole
candidates,
time.
Yes,
Larry?
I will read them to you. Hold on one
Well, I
second.
wouldn't mean nothing
I
to me.
have it. Give me one moment.
All right, there we are.
I
Signatures on the page.
School
They're
board candidate.
going to work this out. Yes, N8.
Wow.
Battle Creek, Dean Winters, Josh Dunhemel. I don't know how to say that last name. Anyways, thank you guys. Really appreciate everything in chat. I do have a personal request. 2 requests. Go over to Wings Etc. Tell them the podcast sent you. Wings Etc. in Heartland.
Yep.
Tell them that you heard about it on the podcast and go check them out.
It's a wingy.
The second one is mark your calendars for September 14th. Come to Brighton and go to the Cozy Inn. The Single Barrel, that's my band, which I'm the lead singer and bass player. We will be taking the stage at 8 o'clock
You need to
for the
text me
huge
that.
pig roast in Brighton on the 14th. And we want to pack that place out because we are headlining it and we're going to kick ass.
You know what? You should have a
September
table.
4th.
You should have a table set up to promote This Is My Brain podcast.
I'm going to promote the band. It's a band event.
Well, both.
Can I?
Well, I'm gonna wear a fucking rainbow bandana and be security.
This is
and a green hat.
I'm glad you're.
Are you gonna wear a mini skirt?
Fuck yeah.
Anybody?
Oh, yeah, Transformers was in Pontiac Studios too.
Anybody who's interested in the Fowlerville candidates, they are as followed: Braska, looks like Sharon, Charron, Coln, Coln, Hinton, and Sova.
Larry,
those are the good ones.
Those are the candidates that are on the conservative list.
Idea.
Okay.
I have a whole list of them. So
Very good. We're continuing to work on the show. We're gonna start making some of this information available for you guys, but it takes a lot of work, and we still have day jobs here.
I think. Well, can I mention the app?
Yes.
I think at some point there will be a conduit of communication that not just us, those who are elected and are part of the kind of that tier or echelon of involved people. The reality is we want to get as many people as possible at some level involved.
100%.
So there is actually a business-to-business tool that's been used by some companies that is going to be promoted out here on some of the grassroots communications. So there's tools coming, to overcome the lack of cohesiveness in some of the circles we live in communication.
Pointing out Whiplash, the roller derby shot that was starring Drew Barrymore, and there was another chick that was. I want to say it was.
Oh my God, I forgot there was a raffle going on for those hockey kids.
Yeah,
the guy didn't send me his QR code. Outside of Jonah's, there was an organization support your local.
You never sent it.
Kids sports.
Yeah, and there's some events coming up that I've been asked to help support. The one event that I was going to mention tonight, they actually changed the date. So, anyways,
I'm looking for a football program probably this next year. I get involved in it and get some coaching back in.
A lot of stuff happening. I don't know what we have lined up for guests in the next few Sundays. It's been a crazy summer.
Yeah,
hopefully everybody's got power
crazier.
back. Yeah. No matter what you do this November, you got to get out and vote. That's what we got to do. And above all, we got to pray for our country, for our state, for our community, and come together for freedom. And that's really, for me, what is at the core of our American values is the proclamation of liberty. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. Appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up. Here comes the QR codes.
Email as well. Larry's email as well there. Larry's email as well.
Larry's email. If you want to contact us for guests or suggestions for the show, that I will ignore, not the guests, but the suggestions for the show. Contact Larry. This is my brain host at outlook.com.
That's right.
And if you are very offended by something he said that triggered you, contact Larry. This is my host, my brain host at outlook.com. There's our QR codes. And Tim, take it away. I'm muting myself because I don't even care.
I was trying to get the man cave shot going there, but the man cave shot doesn't seem to want to work.
Man cave shot doesn't work.
Something on the camera. Yep, it did. It managed to mute me. But you guys know the game. That's the way that we play. There's the squares. There's the email. That's all I really have to say.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
Dude.
that's an egg.
Seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A little sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.